Kansas City Royals, that's where we're going to start. Before we do that, I need to remind you guys of a couple of things. Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number 2, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I mean, it'd be great if you could tell 2 people to check out the show, but you know what? Beggars won't be choosers. If you can simply tell one person to check out the show, you know what? I would greatly appreciate it if you did that. And number 3, I need you guys to remember that the open of the show is now brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place, with 5 metro locations serving great pizza for over 25 years right here in the Kansas City metro. If you want some hot pizza and some cold drinks, and you also want to watch the biggest and best games, be sure to stop by and check out our friends over at The Other Place. Also, check out the website, theotherplace.com. Well, the Royals continue to do what needs to be done. The Kansas City Royals right now, they are 3 games over 500, and they continue to bash on the teams that they are supposed to. So Rob did a little bit of work. He got here early. He's got a little pep in his step. I think Rob is taking off on Friday. So Rob is going to, you know how you guys camp out for Chiefs games when they play on Sunday Night Football? That's what Rob plans on doing for Kansas against Fresno State. He's so excited about this. He's taking off Friday to go out there. He said he wants to be the first person to tailgate for this weekend's game. But today he came in with a little pep in his step. He said Royals baseball is meaningful. So I looked up some numbers for it, and I said, you know what, Rob? I appreciate that. This is what we have. There are 37 games between now and the season being over for the Kansas City Royals. I think that 86 or 87 is the target that the Royals need to get to if we are seriously talking about them making the postseason. It is impossible to say that they don't have a chance. In order for the Royals to win 87 games, they have to go 23-14 down the stretch. That means they need to win 62% of their games. Guess what the Royals' record is over their last 37 games? Just take a guess. It's 23-14 with a win percentage of 62. Basically, what the Royals need to do to make the postseason is, can they match the last month that they've had? If they can match the last month that they have had, an ability to put things together and win the games and series necessary, the Royals have a serious and legitimate chance of making the postseason. The schedule, now not ideal, but if the Royals are going to do this thing, and it's not outside the realm of possibility that the Royals can do this thing, they're going to have to be able to overcome their fears. The Royals have done an incredible job in beating up on teams like the Nationals, the White Sox, and teams like they're currently playing right now, the Texas Rangers. And there's nothing wrong with that. I told you guys yesterday, I don't care which 87 games they win. If this team makes the postseason, you got to figure out the best path to get there if you want to make the postseason. If this team is going to get over the hump, if this team is going to really make this a very interesting final 6-7 weeks of the baseball season, they're going to have to overcome what has been their greatest weakness this season. When they have played a series that really matters, when they have played a team that really matters, they have disappointed more times than not. This season, against a team that is over 500, they are 22-37. They have been bad against the good teams. Now, you got a handful of those teams left on the schedule. This weekend, you have one of those teams in the Detroit Tigers. That might be the best team in the American League. You got to take care of business and handle your own against the good teams in Major League Baseball, and you got to continue to BTA these bad teams in baseball. That's what they did this weekend against the Chicago White Sox. That's what they did last week against the Washington Nationals. Hopefully that's what they continue to do against the Texas Rangers. Then not a bad team, not in the same sense of those first 2 teams, but you won the first game of the series. Can you possibly take 3 out of 4 against the Texas Rangers and just keep this momentum going? All of that is on the table right now for the Royals. We have given you the pathway. The Royals, to get to 87 wins, simply need to replicate what they have done the last 37 games. Can they keep this up with the offense? Can they get Seth Lugo turned around, who was on the hill later today? We'll talk to Vern about that coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Can they get Seth Lugo back on track? It seems hard to think that the Royals are going to be able to keep up this remarkable pace without having Seth Lugo part of it in some capacity and not in the negative sense. I also think that J.J. Picollo deserves a lot of credit for this. The back half of their lineup was killing this team. Now, sure, you're not making it to the postseason without the Vinnie Pasquantinos, without the Bobby Witt Jr.'s, and those guys have certainly come together and played well. The back half of their lineup every day was a negative. And so far, you look at this stretch and who they've gotten to contribute. It's been a little bit of Nick Lofton, a little bit of Yastrzemski, a little bit of Adam Frazier, a little bit of Kyle Isbell. The supporting cast and the supporting actors, so to speak, they have certainly done their job. They've held their own. They've kept this thing together. And they are just a more well-rounded and complete lineup than they were 50, 60 games ago. We all love Jack Caglione. You can't continue to put a guy out there who is hitting 151 and doesn't get on base for you. You couldn't continue to have that guy in your lineup. MJ Melendez, I don't know why he was continuing to get ABs. You had to get him out of here. Some of the other moves that they've made throughout the course of the season, it is not a surprise to me that this offense has started to get back on track, when Vinny has really gotten hot, when your foundation was a lot stronger from your top 3 or 4 hitters, and also you completely elevated the floor of the back half of their roster. They don't have nearly as many automatic outs that they had in the early part and middle part of the season. And now, as we are in the sprint, 37 games to go for the Royals, this is a team that at least has a puncher's chance. They're not the favorite to do it. If you look at the percentages, Fangraphs has them at about a 20% chance of making the postseason, so about a 1 in 5 chance. Baseball Reference has them at a 24% chance, so about a 1 in 4 chance. So I'm not here to tell you that the Royals are making the postseason. I'm simply going off the numbers. But it is interesting to think that the Royals have a chance. The Royals matter, and that's all we've asked the Royals to do was to matter in August and matter in September. I've told you guys from the beginning what my hope and what my expectation is. I want to be at Kauffman Stadium in September when they have a series and they are 2 games back, and they really need these series, and these games really matter if they're going to make the postseason or not. We just haven't had many of those August. We haven't had many of those Septembers where the Royals are in that spot, where the Royals are within striking distance. They're playing a team that really matters, and this is a really, really important series for the Kansas City Royals. So that is my hope for them, and the way that they have played, they have made that possible. We'll talk NFL coming up on the other side, but you guys know the rules. If we start the show with the Royals, then we got to end the segment with a little bit of...
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals. If you want to be.
Carrington, today's random Royals lineup takes us back to the year 1995, where the Royals finished just sub 500. Here, where's their record on this date in Royals history? 1995 is they lost on a walk-off to the Toronto Blue Jays. Leading off in center field, Johnny Damon. Batting second in left field, Tom Goodwin. Batting third, the first baseman, Wally Joyner. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Gary Gaetti. Batting fifth, batting fifth, the designated hitter, Keith Lockhart.
Who? I don't think I've ever heard of Keith Lockhart in my entire life.
He hit .323 this season for the Royals. Wow. Batting sixth, the shortstop, Greg Gagne.
Something makes me feel like that's Gagne.
Could go either way.
I'm just going to guess. I don't know, but I'm just going to guess.
Batting seventh, the right fielder, John Nunnally.
I don't know who any of these human beings are.
Batting eighth, the second baseman, David Howard.
D. Howard.
And batting ninth, the catcher, Brent May.
I have heard of him before.
Like I said, the Royals lost in this state on a walk-off as the Blue Jays got a big hit off of Jeff Montgomery, dropping the Royals from 50-51 to 50-52 back in 1995.
Coming up on the other side, I had an epiphany as I've been watching The Kingdom and as I'm starting to transition over to the 90s documentary about the 90s Cowboys. I'll explain. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone and... that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A., member FDIC.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, baseball fans, want to boost the odds on your next MLB parlay? Take the field with a Parlay Boost token from BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Log into your BetMGM account to receive your token. Then, place a parlay on any MLB game and apply the token. Just make sure to bet up to the minimum stake, odds, and legs specified on the token. If your boosted parlay hits, you'll score a bigger payout. Feeling good about your MLB parlay? Step up to the plate for your chance to score. Claim your MLB Parlay Boost token today. Join the excitement all season long with BetMGM. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
When we're young, we take things for granted, like getting out of bed or even walking downstairs. But as we age, our knees and back and hips may start to prevent us from doing those normal everyday activities. And in the back of our minds, we're thinking, hey, this pain's going to go away. But nothing changes. It's time to call and schedule that free consultation with the medical pros at QC Kinetics. There are thousands of patients who will tell you they wish they would have done it sooner. They turned around their lives with QC Kinetics regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair that damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies. No scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. So bring your x-rays and MRIs to QC Kinetics for a free no-pressure chat and through evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. Grab the phone right now and give them a call. Appointments available on Saturday, 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone.
It is out of here.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the 7th inning stretch of a televised baseball game,
We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate or BPH could be the cause, and Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why MyLowe's Rewards members get a free Valspar paint or exterior stain sample to test your look to confidently refresh your space. Offer valid in-store only 8/7 to 8/20. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Rewards program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
I'm Jordan Robinson, host of the new podcast, The Women's Hoop Show. Each episode, I'll be joined by a rotating group of women's basketball experts to talk WNBA, college hoops, the new Unrivaled League, and the shifting landscape of the sport. The game is growing, and so are we. Listen to and follow The Women's Hoop Show and Odyssey podcast, available now for free on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Be sure to follow The Drive on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
So as I was getting ready for the show today, I see that KU has made a coaching hire. They've hired Tony Bland. Now, you know, being the sports talk host that I am, I try not to come on here and be unprepared. And sometimes being prepared, all it takes is a quick Google search. Who is Tony Bland? You know, they're making this announcement. They got a new assistant coach. You know, that's somebody I should be familiar with, right, Rob? That's part of my job, is to know who the coaches are. Well, there's a story, actually, in the Los Angeles Times. Who is Tony Bland? USC assistant coach charged with involvement in federal bribery scheme. Birds of a feather, huh? If you need something, just ask, quoted Tony Bland. Shoes, shirts, jerseys, hats, socks, you name it. I've still got shoes in boxes. KU's new assistant coach was arrested back in 2017 for federal charges of conspiracy to commit bribery, soliciting a bribe, wire fraud, part of a broad series of indictments related to fraud and corruption in college basketball. He allegedly facilitated payments for cash to families of USC basketball players. Well, Rob, I will say this. You guys hired somebody who was prepared to win in this NIL era. That might have been frowned upon back in the day. Maybe you couldn't show up with $10,000 in payments to families of high school basketball players. You can do that now. This is actually a really smart hire by KU. To be honest, you guys were ahead of the curve. Everybody else, they were doing things the right way. You know, going out to AAU games, putting boots to the ground, boots on the pavement, recruiting the old school way. I mean, everybody, Kentucky, Duke, Oklahoma State, Mizzou, everybody was doing it the right way. And of course, Kansas trying to circumvent them and the evil empire known as Adidas. They were trying to circumvent the rules and push basketball players to play at Kansas and gave them an unfair advantage. But you know what? There is no unfair advantage anymore. They were ahead of the game. They got somebody, Rob, who is a master, who is an expert in payments to players. It's a good hire by KU. It's a really good job. You guys got a good staff over there. Real solid staff over there at the University of Kansas.
I don't know about you, but I've enjoyed Bill Self's double bird to the NCAA offseason. Oh, you can't do this anymore? Watch me work. By the way, Tony Bland, it's worth noting, did serve his entire 3-year show cause and was an assistant coach last year for Washington.
Now
so
he
has paid his time.
Now he back. Yeah, no, now he back.
Welcome back. Hey, we need someone to recruit Los Angeles.
Yeah, go
Boy,
get him.
do I know the guy.
Yeah, and then to be honest, hey, day one of Tony Bland being here, he gets you Trevor Ariza's kid. Trevor Ariza's kid has a scheduled visit. I'm going to guess that those things are not coincidence. You hire the guy that's known for the West Coast, who's very well known in basketball circles in LA, and then the top recruit in LA is just coming to hang out at Kansas in a month or so. That's good work by KU. I'm telling you, KU last year, something triggered them. They were so bad by their standards last year. It was such a disappointing college basketball season by KU basketball standards. They will never let that happen again. You think that Bill Self is out there risking his health to be coaching a 7th seed in the NCAA tournament? Absolutely not. Hey, we need the #1 high school basketball player. Let's do what we need to do. Hey, you served a penalty for this. You got charged for bribery of college basketball players. We don't care. We'll bring you here. That's what we need. Good work by KU, man. I'm serious. I'm joking, but that's honest. I'm for real. They're not playing around at KU. They were a regular college basketball team, and they can't stomach it. It does not matter anymore. We only care about one thing here, the rules of basketball here. You think we would disrespect James Naismith's name that's right there on the floor by putting together a 21-12 basketball team? Absolutely not.
By the way, I looked this up. It's probably coincidental, but
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a coincidence.
The number one recruit in the country for the 2026 recruiting class is from Sherman Oaks, California.
They're funny. I'm serious. They're funny.
And as you mentioned, Tony Bland is a noted LA and California recruiter. You know what? Actually, the recruiting class here, according to 24/7, 3 of the top 5 kids in the 2026 class are from California. So it's probably just a coincidence.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
I'm not connecting dots that the number one recruit in the country for next year is from Sherman Oaks and does have a schedule visit with KU. Probably coincidence.
Federal charges to commit bribery. He's coaching at KU. Leader of men. That's what he is. He's a leader of men. Congratulations to Kansas, as they have just made a new hire. Tony Bland is the new assistant coach. That's one of Bill's right-hand man. You know what? Speaking of documentaries, I just want to examine the life of Curtis Townsen. There is not I'm not joking. This is serious now. There is not a single person in the 913-816-785 area code who has lived a more fulfilling life than Curtis Townsen. I'm serious. Curtis Townsen has the best life. He gets just to hang out with Bill all day. He goes to a couple of high school basketball games every year. He gets done what Bill needs. How much does Curtis Townsen make every year? About $800,000, $900,000? Just what a comfortable life. What a great life. And if you make $900,000 and live in Lawrence, Kansas, you're basically Warren Buffett. I'm serious. You're basically Jeff Bezos. Because $800,000 there is really worth like $2 billion in a major city. So I'm telling you, Curtis Townsen lives the most fulfilling life of any. There's not a single person around us that lives a better life than him. I'd rather be him than Patrick Mahomes, if those are my two options. I'd rather be Curtis Townsen than Travis Kelce, if those are my two options. Just every day, just hang out. Just, hey, you know. I don't even know if Curtis is putting together schemes to beat the other teams. Like, hey, your job is to facilitate all of this stuff, all right? That's your job. And you do it. You've done a fantastic job at that. Amazing job.
By the way, assuming $800,000 in town makes you a billionaire is wrong. David Booth is a Lawrence believer. He's always in town. He's a real billionaire. He ain't no $800,000 heir. He's a real life billionaire.
Okay, well, you're right. Well, I'm just saying compared to that, David Booth in Lawrence is basically the richest person in the world. Like, that's the equivalent. If you take all the money that you've accumulated in Lawrence, you're basically, I don't know who the wealthiest person in the world is. I don't know who it is right now. I'm telling you, at the Hawk, David Booth is the richest person in the world. Not even close on who the richest person in the world is. Kansas, they get going this weekend. They play Fresno State. We're not going to have their coach and quarterback on. We are waiting until they play Missouri. So I don't want you KU fans to think that we have forgot about you. I promise you. This week, it's K-State. K-State gets their time. They're playing a ranked opponent. We're going to have Chris Kleiman on the show. He's going to be on the show tomorrow. And KU, we will get to you coming up in a couple of weeks as you guys get ready to play Missouri in the early part of September. All right, Rob, I had this thought process, and I would like to share it with you. You know, one day a major company is going to do a documentary about this run from the Chiefs. And I know, like, somebody has, like, recently done it, ESPN, but that's a little bit different. It's like following the season. One day we are going to get the John Dorsey story. I don't know what the John Dorsey story is, but one day someone's going to give us the story. The same way that we got stories that we had never heard of when they did the Last Dance documentary and we heard about all the dislike for Jerry Krause. Like, that was a major theme of the Last Dance. Is, hey, the players, they're not that fond of Jerry Krause. We got that story. They're currently having a documentary on Netflix about the 90s Cowboys, and they're talking about the White House. And no, I ain't talking about the one in Washington, D.C. For those of you that know, you know when I'm talking about the White House and the 90s Cowboys. They got Michael Irvin on camera talking about this. They got Emmitt Smith talking about it. Now, the Chiefs, they haven't had their scandal yet as a team. Like, they haven't had it yet. You know, the Patriots, they had theirs, and the Cowboys, they had their scandals. The Chiefs haven't had it. So I am excited for, I don't know when it'll be, 5 years, 10 years after the run, maybe 20 years after the run. But they will get everybody to sit down in front of a camera, and we will hear stories about this run that we have never heard before. Remember, Apple did this a couple of years ago. They did this with the Patriots. Actually, it was really good. The Apple did this. And they, for the first time, they talked about Aaron Hernandez. You remember, they went through a long stretch. They never talked about Aaron Hernandez. They got Bill Belichick on camera talking about Aaron Hernandez in real time. Blew my mind. They had Rob Gronkowski on camera talking about Aaron Hernandez. One day, we'll get that Chiefs documentary. I don't know when, but I'm telling you, at some point in our life, you will be, I don't know what the social media website will be, but you will see a link to it. And there's going to be a 5-part major series where we hear about the untold stories of the Chiefs in the 2020s. That is a doc we will get at some point in our lives.
That doc is coming. Let me rephrase that. I believe that doc is coming. But as the landscape of media and team control of media changes, are teams going to sign up to have a third party know the story like that? Like the Cowboys story, we all knew as it was happening. Now we get a behind the scenes look. But in 2025, if the Cowboys were having that happen, they would not be releasing that information to a third party company, be like, hey, we know this. The Last Dance wouldn't work because we knew in The Last Dance, hey, Rodman's just in Atlantic City doing whatever Rodman does. Like, that's not a thing that comes out anymore. I think these like sanitized, PC versions of Hard Knocks are now going to be the future. You're going to see glimpses of stuff that are interesting, like in the Kingdom. They show how much Karlaftis was hurt by not making that tackle in the Bills game and how much the Bills game meant to him. But you're not going to get a story about someone like, remember when George Pickens was late to the game for the Steelers? You're not getting a doc like that anymore because I feel like teams are just sanitizing all the stuff they put out. I don't know that we live in a world anymore where these docs will exist in 10, 20 years.
Let me watch this Cowboys doc before I give you my thoughts on this because I am kind of curious. And you and I tell this story because you and I feel the same way. When Netflix announced that they were going to do a doc on the Florida Gators in the early 2000s, you and I were thrilled. There's so many stories about the Florida Gators. I mean, Aaron Hernandez, we believe, committed his first murder while on campus in Gainesville. At one point, Percy Harvin beat up the strength and conditioning coach. Like, you and I both were like, oh, man, we're really going to get to it. We're going to tell the stories about early Florida. No, it was a Tim Tebow documentary about how great Tim Tebow was. I already knew that. How are you going to have a Florida Gators documentary and not tell me their plan was to go from Tim Tebow to Cam Newton. Well, why didn't Cam Newton stay in Florida? Oh, yeah, he stole somebody's laptop. Like, we didn't get that story. So maybe you're right. Maybe we are past the point of raw, authentic sports documentaries from major companies. Maybe that's just not what we get anymore. I don't know. But I do know at some point, somebody independent is going to give us the tell-all Chiefs documentary at some point in life. We've got it about every team that's ever had a dynasty. Every team that had a great run, somebody has done a dynasty on them and got everybody to sit down and tell the stories. It's actually kind of disappointing, I guess, in this regard. Like, we're never going to get that documentary about the Lakers in the early 2000s because Kobe can't be in it. Like, hearing them now talk about how much they didn't like each other back in the day would have been very riveting content. But unfortunately, that is not a documentary that we will ever get. I want to play this audio for you guys. It sounds to me like expansion in Major League Baseball is right around the corner. Here's David Sampson of ESPN.
It is as guaranteed as the sunset tonight in Miami, and it will always be in the West. We talked about geographic realignment in a strategic planning committee meeting 10 years ago, where we were going to have 32 teams. We didn't name the other two teams, but 32 teams, 8 divisions, 4 teams, Mets and Yankees together, Dodgers, Angels together, Cubs, White Sox together, Rays, Marlins together. That was a big one. I raised my hand. What about the Rays, Marlins? We got to get that. They were like, yeah, whatever, Dave. So you guys can all have 8,000 people. So it is it's a real thing. There's going to be expansion, and it will happen once Tampa is sold and once that ballpark starts getting built. The Vegas ballpark is getting built, theoretically, and that will be done by 28 or 29. But all of this is going to come out in the CBA negotiations that are starting right now. People aren't talking about this, but the CBA negotiations, They've started. Now, it's not NLRB official or anything like that, so they haven't decided whether they're going to meet with a square table or a round table, but there's constant communication between the union and the commissioner's office, and what will be in this new CBA will be expansion, realignment, expanded playoffs. So we're going to hear a lot about these things, but we're not going to see it actually, my guess is, until 2030.
I would say that there are two things that seem to be pretty well known in professional sports circles. Las Vegas is getting an NBA team by the end of the decade. I don't know if a team is moving to Las Vegas or they are going to expand the NBA, but it is very clear that there is going to be a very, very serious push once LeBron is retired from the NBA that I want to be the owner of the team in Las Vegas. I think that is very well known if you keep up with this sort of thing. I would also say that another secret that I don't think is that secret in baseball is Nashville is getting a team relatively soon. Like, I think there is a push for Nashville to be the next baseball city. And I think Nashville just makes a lot of sense. I'm not saying that Nashville has never been cool and popular, but it feels like there's been like a real renaissance in the last 20 years. Like, maybe this was the case in the 90s, and I just don't remember. Like, I don't know Nashville really being a place that people would just go and vacation, or it was like the bachelor party, bachelorette party destination. It certainly is now. It's like one of the biggest tourist cities in America, it feels like now. I just feel like a baseball team in Nashville makes a lot of sense. I don't know why they're thinking of expanding it. Why does the state of Florida have baseball? Has the state of Florida shown us that they really like baseball? Because Miami, for a team that certainly has the population to support baseball, are we sure that Miami really wants it? Because it feels to me like baseball has been trying to force themselves onto Miami, and Miami's just been like, nah, we cool. I mean, we'll go if you guys are going to win the World Series, but I mean, if you guys aren't going to win the World Series, we really don't have any interest in being out here. There's plenty of other things for us to do. Why does Tampa Bay have a baseball team? You know how hard it is to build a stadium that nobody loves? Think about it. I mean, people love baseball stadiums. Like, part of why it's cool to go to all the stadiums, and that's not really a basketball thing or a football thing, is because every stadium is truly unique. Kauffman Stadium's not like Wrigley Field. It's not like Fenway. It's not like Petco Park. They're all unique. They all have their own intricacies. You don't hear anybody talk about, man, I can't wait to go see that stadium in Tampa. Why does Florida have baseball? Take the Tampa Bay Rays and move them to Nashville immediately. And then we'll figure out somewhere for Miami. I'm telling you, no one will bat an eyelash if they take the Miami Marlins and move them to another city. No one will care. Not a single person. It's tough to be bottom 10 in attendance if you're as big of a city as Miami is. It's really, really difficult to do. They don't spend money on their team. Their fans don't seem to care. It seems like a money laundering service, if you ask me. Something about it just don't feel right. I don't think that baseball needs to expand. I think that baseball just simply needs to take the teams out of Florida and move them to a market that would Nashville would embrace a baseball team. And a lot of people would go, hey, we can go. My team plays in Nashville. We can make it a weekend. We can make it a thing. Nashville would be a very, very popular baseball team. Just give them the Florida Marlins and let's move on.
So are the two things mutually exclusive? Because in that cut, David Sampson, who's on the Dan Lebtard show, said that the three things they're going to talk about are expansion, realignment of divisions, more postseason. Why don't you move the two Miami teams and then still add two more teams? It feels like baseball is trying to get to 32. Because then you can have 8 divisions of 4. And then you can have the top 2 in each division make the playoffs. It's hinky that 7 make it and, there's buys and wild card. But they don't want that. I think they want the top 8 teams making their postseason, kind of how like the NBA used to do. So you know what? You got to get to 32 somehow. I agree with you. I think it's going to be Nashville. I think Portland is viable. I would bring Montreal back. Montreal has shown that they would support baseball. And Salt Lake City, move the Marlins, move the Rays, and then add 2 other cities. We're at 32. It all makes too much sense. I think we are 5 years away, and I've felt this for a while. It's not just the cut. I think we're 5 years away from baseball and NFL both being at 32 teams. It just feels like that's where everything is pushing.
I don't know enough about Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City is big enough to have an NBA team, a baseball team, and a hockey team. Salt Lake City's a city like that to have all three of those things humming at the same time?
I bet if we looked up the Salt Lake City population, you'd be stunned.
Okay, I just don't know. I was just asking. I've never been to Salt Lake City. I don't think I'll ever go to Salt Lake City in my life. I was just wondering. They just got a hockey team, right? They just got the Phoenix team. And the Jazz are very popular there, and now they're ready for a baseball team. So ESPN actually did this. They did like a MLB expansion to 32 teams, the point that you were making. And the two cities that they added was Nashville and Montreal.
Those
are the two cities.
By the way, I looked it up. There's 217 million people in Salt Lake City.
How many people?
That's what I'm pretty sure.
You just said 217 million people.
That's not right.
Okay, just want to make sure. I don't know what kind of population you think they got going in. It hit my ear. Like, what's going on?
217,000.
Okay, all right.
But Provo was around the corner. That's another 150,000.
What's going on over there?
They basically got 400,000 in town. If you got 400,000, you can host 3 teams.
I don't know if you got enough. I mean, I would say that's by far and away the smallest city that has 3 professional teams. 2, yeah, sure. 3's tough. 3's tough, I think, for a city the size of Salt Lake City. Especially, like, we think in Nashville, like, I don't know how big Nashville's population is. Like, people
it's a tourist destination, though,
people go to Nashville. So if, like, and I think there's, like, natural rivals that people would just go. Like, people would just be in attendance. Like, when they played the Braves or those teams, it would be a very, very popular event to go to. I don't know if people are traveling to Salt Lake City. Again, I'm trying to figure out. I was like, whoa, hold on. When did Salt Lake City get so many people?
I glanced down and then looked back up. I was doing multiple things. Yeah, 217,000.
Yeah, no.
It's basically the United States. Basically, everyone lives in Salt Lake.
100%. So in this story, it was actually kind of cool. They did an MLB expansion, which I would guess if they ended up expanding and doing what you're talking about, where they did the 32 teams, they basically copy the NBA model. Is that not what they would do? Or the NFL model? The NFL has 32 teams. There's 4 divisions in each conference. 4 teams are guaranteed to make the postseason. They have 3 wild card teams, and then we just go from there. Is that not the model that baseball would have, which is basically copy the the NFL playoffs and follow a very similar system?
I think so, but I also think the NFL is eventually going to move to 8 playoff teams. So I think everyone's going to end up at 8. I think you're going to see a world where it's every division winner's locked in, and then if you finish second in the division, you get a wild card spot. We've expanded playoffs too much in American sports. I think we're just done at 7. So I think it's going to be 8 for both sports.
In this story, they had the Royals. They would move to the National League Central, and then this would be this is all hypothetical. It was Houston, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Minnesota, Chicago, both Chicago teams, Texas, and Kansas City. That would be its own division. I will say that's a pretty interesting division. Like, a lot of teams that make sense. There's a rivalry there. Kansas City, St. Louis, the Chicago teams. There's a rivalry between Kansas City and Minnesota, Milwaukee. And there was a lot of teams that actually made a lot of sense to be in the same division. That story's on ESPN if you guys want to check it out. Coming up on the other side, you know that we love nostalgic trips down memory lane. One of the best basketball player of the 2010s retired today. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
This man was a bona fide scrub.
On 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey guys, football season is right around the corner. So that means whether you're watching your favorite college team or maybe you're watching the pros play, you're going to have people over and you're going to have your own watch parties. Well, if you plan on having a watch party this fall, make sure that it includes the best barbecue in town at Gates Barbecue. With 5 locations around town, you are never too far away from that classic Gates barbecue taste. And let me tell you, the last time I was there, I got the burnt E Mac, absolutely phenomenal. Now, you know, I'm a mixed plate kind of guy, but now I got to make sure I get that on the side. I got to make sure that I get that burnt E Mac. I put a little bit of the sauce in there. I mix it all up. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely delicious. Maybe you like to get your own grilling done during the football season. Well, you can still incorporate Gates Barbecue into that. Next time you're at the grocery store, make sure you go get some of the Gates sauce. Also, make sure that you go get some of the Gates seasoning. You can get that at any area local grocery store. It's Carrington here telling you, with football season around, with tailgate season right around the corner, I know you're going to be doing some grilling. And if you plan on doing some grilling or even eating some barbecue at the function, make sure that it includes Gates Barbecue.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
If you could hear Old Spice Fiji Antiperspirant, what would it sound like? First, you'd start with Fiji Antiperspirant's amazing scent of palm trees. Add pure notes of fresh coconut and layer on 24/7 odor and sweat protection. You won't hear any dyes or parabens because with Fiji, you won't have any. So while your regular antiperspirant sounds like this, Old Spice Fiji sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Ring the bell! We've done it again! Golden Oak Lending has lowered rates to 4.875 fixed. Lower your monthly payment, get cash out, pay off credit cards, and best of all, make no mortgage payments for 2 months. Lock in this incredible 4.875 rate and get your cash in as little as 14 days. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.81 APR, FHA, 15-year, 20% equity, qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Get ready, KC! August 23rd, Wilkes City is dropping $700 in free play every 7 minutes from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's dozens of winners all day long. And it all leads to the big one. At 10:01 p.m., one lucky guest will take home a jaw-dropping $70,000 in cash. That's over $140,000 in free play and cash flying out the door in just one day. Harrah's Kansas City, where the cash keeps coming, and you could be our next winner.
Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's the summer sales event at Robside Ford. Your chance to upgrade without the stress. Robside joins me now. Rob, what's the offer?
0% financing, $0 down, and 0 payments for 90 days on nearly the entire Ford lineup.
That's a serious summer deal.
Sure is. And unlike your brisket last weekend, these deals aren't dry.
Okay, that's fair. These savings are definitely juicy.
And we're backing it up with 2 years of complimentary maintenance, a non-commissioned sales team, and top trade-in values.
No pressure, no gimmicks at Robside Ford. The way car buying should be.
We're Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. 4.8 stars, nearly 3,000 Google reviews, and a better experience from start to finish.
So skip the smoke and the dry meat. This summer, start at Robside Ford.
135th and State Line or robsight.com. 0% financing, $0 down, 0 payments for 90 days, and 2 years of complimentary maintenance.
Robside Ford, buy right, drive happy. And next time, maybe stick to potato salad.
It's not too late to enjoy your summer with a new or improved deck. Go to PowellExteriorsKC.com to schedule a consultation today. Get your free estimate now, and you could be enjoying your new deck or patio in a matter of weeks. You are one click away from your best summer ever.
Our Best Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Our Best. We believe.
Today we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
This afternoon, expect sunny skies with a high of 93.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back to the show. Coming up in a little bit, we'll talk about Rich Eisen, who made his return to SportsCenter. Why don't we take a nice nostalgic trip before we catch up with Denny Matthews coming up at the top of the hour. All right, the first thing. Today, we saw John Wall retire. Now, some of you guys might be thinking, so what? Why does it matter? Well, you know what? It matters to me. This is why. I think all of us have a team that we think, how did that team not go to the Final Four? Like, Rob, we kind of give you a hard time with your KU team, but I completely understand how you feel that is it the 96 or 98 Jayhawks? I want to make sure that I'm accurate here. The team that has Paul Pierce, Ray LaFrentz, Jock Bond, like
they lose to Arizona. I believe it's 97, actually.
I think you could argue that's the best team that Kansas had in the last 50 years. Like, that is a really talented, really loaded, by far and away the best team that year in college basketball. And then the NCAA tournament happens. You catch the right team on the wrong night, and your entire season can end in an instant. And that is what makes the NCAA tournament so good. That Kentucky team with John Wall, that's that team for me. Wait, they didn't go to the Final Four? I mean, the starting five was John Wall, Patrick Patterson, DeMarcus Cousins, Darius Miller, and Eric Bledsoe. So we're talking about four guys who were good NBA pros. Now, I don't know what happened to Darius Miller, but I'm talking four legitimate pros. That team didn't make it to the Final Four? I went back and I looked at the box score from that game. Because remember, they made it to the Elite Eight. I mean, they ran through college basketball the year. They were 35-2 heading into that game. Again, ran through college basketball. They're heading to the Elite Eight. I mean, this is going to be easy. This is going to be a cakewalk. They're playing a good West Virginia team. This was in the Carrier Dome in the Elite Eight. All right. They shot terribly from the field. That night, Kentucky shot 34% from the field. Rob, they were 4 from 32 from 3. They shot 12% from 3. If you want to look at what got you beat and what got you eliminated in the NCAA tournament, it don't really take a lot of rocket science to know. Basically, in that game, John Wall played well. DeMarcus Cousins played well. Nobody else on Kentucky played well that day. You don't bring it one night in the NCAA tournament. It doesn't matter what conference you're from. It doesn't matter how many games you won in the regular season. Doesn't matter what your roster is. If you don't bring it just one night in March, your entire season can end. That's the best team that I've ever seen, that I think we've seen, that didn't end up making the Final Four. John Wall, Patrick Patterson, DeMarcus Cousins, and Eric Bledsoe, and they lost in the Elite Eight to West Virginia. That, I mean, had some guys, but I mean, they didn't have enough guys that they should have beat Kentucky in a basketball game, but that's March Madness. That's why we love it.
Is that outcome more surprising than that team that was basically made hockey line changes with Carl-Anthony Towns losing in the Final Four? Is that team not making it the bigger surprise? Because I agree with you. I was a freshman in college in 2009, and trust me, as a KU fan, I hated Kentucky. Calipari had gotten over there. They had made the big recruiting wins. John Wall did the dance at their version of Late Night. It was everywhere. Drake had become a fan basically out of thin air. This Canadian was a massive Kentucky fan, and they were just dominating the sport. And they lost to West Virginia. But that still less surprised me, that team that had Carl-Anthony Towns and they had a bunch of other guys, and they just lost.
I got the roster here pulled up if you want me to read it.
Devin Booker. They lost to Wisconsin.
It's a crazy Kentucky roster. This was the Kentucky team. You remember that Kentucky team was actually undefeated that year. They lost in the Final Four. That was their first loss. Do you remember who they lost to?
Lost to Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, Frank Kaminsky. Yeah, that was that team.
And Sam Decker.
Their starting five was Willie Cauley-Stein, Carl-Anthony Towns, the Harrison twins, and Trey Lyles. Coming off the bench, they had future NBA Hall of Famer Devin Booker and Tyler Ulis. That was their top 7 that year in Kentucky. Lost in the Final Four. They lost to Wisconsin. Frank Kaminsky gave them he was a problem. He was a problem that day. Frank Kaminsky gave them 20 and 10 and shot 70% from the floor. They also couldn't guard Sam Decker that day. And yeah, that's all it takes. That's how you get eliminated in the NCAA tournament. I want to play this audio for you guys before we're joined by Denny Matthews coming up at the top of the hour. Last night, Rich Eisen was back on SportsCenter for the first time since 2003.
Tonight on SportsCenter, the preseason Monday Nighters certainly did not disappoint in D.C. while an old DC star powered up the Phillies against the Mariners twice. In Pittsburgh, Paul Skeens actually got runs, 2 of them. Was it enough against Toronto? But really, sometimes you gotta keep it simple and direct.
Why didn't you go down?
I wanted to score.
This show is all about strolling down memory lane. No, not about having hair. It's about throwing a whole bunch at you while having an old school good time. So stay tuned and don't flip out. SportsCenter is next. Hey there. Saying this for the first time in 22
how much
years.
I missed this music. Oh, my goodness.
Welcome to SportsCenter.
Oh, my goodness. I forgot how much I missed it. I know that people have their issues with ESPN, but oh, my goodness. Just what a great idea. I don't know whose idea it was to bring Rich Eisen back to host another episode of SportsCenter, but give them 2 thumbs up. Why doesn't ESPN do that somewhat regularly? We don't think that the old host would love to come back and host SportsCenter. Like, if they just made it like every Tuesday at 5, we're going to bring back some of your favorite former hosts. Why can't they do this over the summer? You remember how they used to kind of like pass time during the All-Star break where they would do like the Make-A-Wish, where you would get to see like Steph Curry go shoot threes with some kid who had like terminal illness. Like, remember that, how they would do that every year, like during the All-Star break? Why can't we have like nostalgic SportsCenter week, where we just get back the old combinations? You're telling me Dan Patrick has no interest in going back and hosting SportsCenter one more time? None. No interest in doing it. Sign me up. I'd love to have Rich Eisen come back and host SportsCenter. We can't get Kenny Mayne to come back, Trey Wingo, Stan Verrett. Where's Brian Kinney doing these days? We can't get Brian Kinney to come back and do an episode of SportsCenter. Oh, it was so good yesterday. Then they paid tribute to Stuart Scott while he was there too. A+, 2 thumbs up. ESPN, great job yesterday. Thank you for that. That music, where's that music gone? They're not using the real instruments like they used to. You heard the saxophone in the back. That's real instrumentation there. That's an incredible, great job, ESPN. That's what I want to tell you. 2 thumbs up. Coming up at the top of the hour, Denny Matthews, the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, get you ready for their game tonight. The Royals, they are on fire. We'll talk to Denny about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Hey, it's Lucas Ursig from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with C-Dot on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
BetMGM is making your next golf tournament winner bets more exciting with Second Chance. What's Second Chance? Ever bet on your favorite golfer to win a tournament only to see them miss the green? Well, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your tournament winner bet finishes in second instead. That's right. Simply bet on any player to win a scheduled golf tournament during a promotional week. If you're right, you win. But if your pick finishes in second instead of first, you get your stake back in cash. Watch your favorite players go for the win all season long and bet knowing you'll get your stake back if they finish second. Log in today and make your picks with confidence with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com. betterhelp.com for terms. 21 plus only, Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards paid back in unrestricted withdrawable funds. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
GimmeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway. I hate games and scams. So when we had the idea to give away $25,000, I was very careful about the way it was orchestrated. Get the top of the market money and enter to be the lucky person to get $25,000. This is no joke. This is no game. This is very real. Just like GimmeTheVin.com.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GimmeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hi, it's Christina with Piropos Restaurant on the hill at Briarcliff. When you dine at Piropos, you love the cuisine we mastered from Argentina, like our famous empanadas, crab bisque, peppercorn encrusted filet, and so much more. But we prepare to say wow with our stunning hilltop views overlooking downtown Kansas City. Be playful and enjoy life at Piropos for dinner. Go to piroposkc.com or call 816-741-3600.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru. The Subaru A Lot to Love event.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. Proud partner of the Kansas City Royals. Each can of Surfside is only 100 calories. And the best part, 0 bubbles. Grab it at the K or ask for it at your favorite bars and liquor stores.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Lowe's knows to bring your vision to life, it's important to find the right color. That's why MyLowe's Rewards members get a free Valspar paint or exterior stain sample to test your look to confidently refresh your space. Offer valid in-store only 8/7 to 8/20. Limit 1 per customer while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Rewards program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
The world's coming to Kansas City in 2026. Is your parking lot ready? Faded lines, potholes, unsafe sidewalks. Gann Asphalt and Concrete is your winning team. One contractor. All things parking lot. Visit GannAsphalt.com today.
You're listening to the all-new 96.5 The Fan, your new home for Chiefs football. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome back into The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. We are happy right now to talk Royals baseball with the Royals Hall of Famer. Denny Matthews joins us on the show today. Denny, happy to have you on the show today.
Well, glad to be here, Carrington. Good to talk to you.
Denny, the Royals have really turned things around since the last time that you and I have spoken. They are 64-61. They are 3.5 games back in the wild card. What's different about the Royals than the last time that you and I talked?
Well, some of the elements are coming together for winning baseball, and the pitching has been good. The hitting has been very good, and a little power here and there, and that always helps. In fact, the game last night, the Royals were out-hit, but the opponent, in this case Texas, all singles except for one double. And the Royals hit 3 home runs, and as we both know, home runs normally are going to beat singles, and that's what happened last night. But, yeah, they're beating teams they should beat, and I'll talk about Washington, and the Royals had a great chance to sweep a 4-game series with the Nationals. They didn't. They came up 1 run short in the final game of that series, and then the White Sox come to town, and they're equally bad. And the Royals swept that series, and the White Sox just really didn't put up a lot of a lot of good baseball in that series, and so the Royals made the most of it. But they're doing what they should do. They're beating bad teams. Sometimes you'll play a bad team playing bad, and that's what's happened to Washington and Chicago. On the other hand, sometimes a bad team will be playing well, and then you got your hands full. For instance, Chicago, prior to coming into Kansas City, well, they started to sink when they came to KC, but maybe 2 weeks prior to that, the White Sox had won 10 out of 14 games. That's pretty good pace. So that was a bad team playing well, but when they came to town, it was a bad team playing bad.
Right now, we're talking to Denny Matthews about the Royals, who find themselves 3 games over 500. I think the way that you put it is the perfect way to describe this team, but that's kind of the pathway for the Royals. The Royals' schedule kind of eased up in the second half of the season, and if the Royals are going to do this, they're going to have to play exceptional in the games in which they should win. And then when it comes to a weekend series against the Tigers, like, you got to find a way to win that series. Like, you're trying to climb over a couple of teams. You got to play 4.5, 5 games better than the Yankees down the stretch. Your margin for error is nearly zero. You got to be fantastic for the final 6-7 weeks of the season.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And a good test is going to be a little road trip coming up after the series here with Texas. And then, as you mentioned, Detroit is here, and the Royals will be in Detroit. And if the Royals hold serve, so to speak, against those teams and on the road trip and continue to play well, now we're getting serious. But those are going to be so key. I think after you see the series, 2 series against Detroit on the road trip, of which Detroit is a part, then we can really talk about perhaps playing in October.
Denny, let's talk about Seth Lugo. I also want to get your thoughts on the offense as well. The Royals have actually been very good offensively since the All-Star break. Lugo has put together a couple of rough starts. Is that cause for concern, or is that just a slump that every baseball player is going to go through?
Or a combination thereof. Some people think maybe there's something bothering him physically. Who knows? But, no, it wasn't Lugo over the last 3 outings for sure. And so the next 2 starts for him are going to be key to how the Royals proceed down the stretch run. But, yeah, I think a little concern, but we'll find out. He's going to pitch in this series, so everybody will be keeping a close eye on that.
Denny, let's talk about the offense. I think this has been really the theme for the Royals the entire season, and why they got off to such a slow start and why they've turned things around. Their offense is so predicated on Witt, Vinnie Pasquantino, Salvador Perez, Miguel Garcia, and Jonathan India. It feels like for the first time all season, they've kind of gotten those guys to kind of line up and start hitting all at the same time, and that's really propelled the Royals for the last month or so.
Yeah, and look at the hitters 6, 7, 8, and 9 over the last 3 weeks, and there have been a lot of contributions from those spots in the batting order. Earlier in the season, it was virtually nothing from 6 on down, and that makes a huge difference because a lot of times the 7th, 8th, and 9th place hitters are going to be setting things up, hopefully getting on base for the 1, 2, 3, and 4 guys, and I think that's been the big difference. And then you have to have the 1, 2, 3, and 4 guys producing, which they have. And that makes for a pretty good, solid, deep offense. And the Royals have really turned the last 3 weeks around because of that. And don't overlook the contributions of the guys down lower in the batting order.
Yeah, I feel like the Royals, now, I mean, it was never going to be perfect, but I do think a lot of the moves that the Royals made at the trade deadline and kind of turning over the bottom half of that lineup, I feel like a lot of those worked. You know, MJ Melendez was kind of uncertain and unable to figure it out. We all were super excited about Jack Caglione, but it's hard to carry somebody who's hitting 170 every day in your lineup. You're right, where I feel like we've kind of raised the ceiling for this team by just simply improving 6 through 9, as you mentioned.
Yeah, and the guys who've contributed that jump to my mind would be Frazier and Rave, Isbell to a degree, and Lofton at times. And those are the guys that are hitting down in the lower part of the batting order. Frazier, don't forget Frazier. He's been a big help, and that's another trade the Royals made. So those guys have really contributed quietly, sort of, because the guys you named earlier, they're the ones who get the headlines. They're the ones that drive in the runs. But it's the guys that have to get on base in front of them. Otherwise, you got solo home runs. But the Royals have been getting a lot of two-run home runs, and some of them very important to tie a game or to put the Royals in front for good. And, yeah, that's all come together.
I feel like what happened with Vinnie Pasquantino, and I'm curious if you agree, where I think sometimes we think an injury is going to take, that's going to take 4 weeks. That's going to take 6 weeks. Sometimes it's a lot more that goes into it. It feels like it took Vinnie a little bit longer to get his timing back when it came from the thumb injury. But I would say over the last 6 weeks to maybe 2 months, this is the Vinnie Pasquantino that was playing last summer for the Royals prior to the injury.
Yeah, he's the type of hitter. Well, he's a smart hitter. Let's start there. But he's the type of hitter who figures out a way to drive in a run or two or three. And that's the guy you need right there in the 3 or 4 slot in your batting order. And Vinny is just very good at that. He's smart. He knows the pitcher. He's figuring things out when he's in the on-deck circle. What's the situation? What inning are we in? What's the score? What do I have to do to help us win? And he's processing all that from the on-deck circle, and then he gets into the batter's box. He's got an idea. He's got a plan. And it seems like over the last couple of months, more often than not, he's executing that plan that he was configuring from the on-deck circle.
Last thing here, Denny, kind of going back to present day and talking about the Royals. I don't know if the Royals are going to make the postseason or not. They've been so up and down. They've been so inconsistent. I mean, they don't have a great percentage chance of making it, but weird things happen. The Royals certainly have a chance. Above anything, I'm just happy that the Royals have mattered. Like, so much in my life, I've seen a lot of August, a lot of September, where baseball is so far out of everybody's thinking and everybody fully moves on to football season, that I am happy that the Royals are interesting enough that I just want them to play a series that really matters in September. I want them to play a series against the Guardians or the Tigers where, hey, you need to go out to Kauffman Stadium. The Royals really need this to help their playoff chances. They just haven't had many of those Septembers in my life.
Yeah, in the last 2 years, and here we go again, we're not in September, obviously, but they have played very well at the latter end of the season. And to that end, I think you have to talk about the front office making trades, player moves. You have to talk about the manager and the coaching staff, and then, of course, the players. But all combined, those elements make for a team that, well, doesn't give up. They keep driving, keep grinding, and as you said, who knows what's going to happen at the end? Who knows how the other teams in front of the Royals are going to be playing? Better, worse, the same? Who knows? That's the great thing about it. Nobody knows, and it's fun to sit back and watch.
That is Denny Matthews joining us on the show. He is the Hall of Fame voice of the Kansas City Royals. It's always an honor and a privilege to talk to him as the Royals, they continue to be one of the hottest teams in baseball to try to make a push to grab one of those final playoff spots. Denny, really appreciate your time. Look forward to catching up with you next week.
Sounds good, Carrington.
Absolutely. That is Denny Matthews, the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, joining us on the show. I gave Rob one homework assignment today. I asked Rob to go through the last 25 drafts for the Chiefs and to make his all-disappointment team. I'm talking 22 starters from quarterback all the way down to the nickel corner. I asked him to do one thing today. He unveils his Chiefs draft disappointment team. Will Felix Anudike-Uzomah, will he be a starter on this team? We'll find out. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
For the first time in a long time, I'm willing to dream that this can be a special season for the Missouri Tigers.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
Life's better with American Family Insurance. Because we know in making the most of your home, DIY doesn't just stand for do it yourself. It also means dream it yourself. And we're here to help protect the dreams you're building. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Don't let clogged drains slow you down. Call Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter today for our $79 mainline drain cleaning special. The pros at Hamilton will inspect your drains with video camera technology to pinpoint exactly what is needed to clear those clogs and help prevent expensive drain repairs. The expert technicians at Hamilton are ready 7 days a week to solve your problem the right way, the first time. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5 5-star reviews ensures your peace of mind. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Want to see the 2015 World Champion Royals swing it again? Come out to Home Run Derby X at Kauffman Stadium for a reunion on September 13th. Eric Hosmer, Mike Moustakas, Alex Gordon, Ben Zobrist, and Lorenzo Cain take their cuts against reps from the Blue Jays and the Mets. Come join the action for a night of massive dingers, slick defense, and target-smashing thrill. You don't want to miss it. Get your tickets now at MLB.com/HRDXKC. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
If you have back-to-school shopping to do, then you should make Macy's your first stop, because Macy's has back-to-school styles from brands like Nike and Jordan, must-have denim from Levi's and Good American, and now Macy's has Abercrombie Kids too. It's all in one place, all at great prices. And here's another reason to come in. If you're already at Macy's and you saved so much, you could stop by the fragrance counter and pick up something for yourself too. The best back-to-school styles are here now at Macy's.
Danon Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling, 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're gonna love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Danon Hughes. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
This Labor Day weekend, we're celebrating Bob's Discount Furniture's 200th store milestone with the entire Bob's family across the country. For more than 30 years, we've believed everyone deserves the home they love. That's why we brought our everyday low prices on furniture, mattresses, and more to over 200 locations from coast to coast and counting. Not to mention free treats for the whole family in our cafes. Celebrate Bob's Discount Furniture's 200 store milestone this Labor Day weekend.
Oh, my Bob!
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Hot damn! Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. The hard iced tea taste you know and love, but with an 8% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and brings your daytime drinking to the next level. Just look for the bright yellow cans in the cooler and get ready to dial up the fun. Big flavor, extreme kick. Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted!
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size. Because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for in client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this. 816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Conley Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Call 913-768-7676 or ConleyPlumbingSolutions.com. Lee Summit, US 50 westbound, shut down past 291 south. Stacked up traffic just stopped in through there, back to 291 north. That would be a better alternate to take up to Chipman or 470. Conley Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber, is different than a lot of plumbers out there. They don't overpromise and underdeliver. They do what they say they will. So call Conley Plumbing Solutions at 913-768-7676 or visit ConleyPlumbingSolutions.com to schedule. Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, we're going to get to our Chiefs. I asked Rob to go through the last 25 drafts for the Chiefs and make his all-disappointment team on both offense and defense, and we'll go through the teams. I do think this is a topic that we haven't talked enough about on this show, and that's on me. We'll have Vern coming up, and we'll talk to him about it. One reason, and I think this is a noticeable reason, why the Royals have turned things around offensively is they are so much better 6 through 9 than they were a month and 2 months ago. I know that we all love Jack Caglione, and I am still as high on him as you can be. And next season, I am all for bringing Jack Caglione back and giving him opportunities and giving him a chance to win the job. My man was hitting 151 with a 205 on-base percentage and was playing every day for the Royals. Man, it's hard to get something going offensively when you have the bottom half of your lineup be as bad as it was. And it wasn't just him. Like, I don't want to single him out. MJ Melendez was in this offense for some time. Kevon Biggio was in this lineup for some time. Hunter Renfroe was in this lineup. Like, they have had a void on the back half of their team, and it puts such a pressure on the top half of the lineup to keep the line moving and to keep the offense going. If you look at the Royals that they are right now, I mean, look at the bottom half of it. Adam Frazier's been good. You now have moved Jonathan India to the bottom half of the lineup, and he's starting to turn things around a little bit. Kyle Isbell has been one of their more consistent outfield bats all season. John Rave is an upgrade over what you've had. Just the fact that they have improved the back half of it. And I don't want to make it seem like it's great, but, I mean, you could argue there was a stretch they had the worst 6 through 9 of any team in Major League Baseball. They're probably a little closer to average now. It's really hard if you're a payroll like the Royals. Like, that's not really where the strength of your team is going to be, and you kind of got to get in where you fit in. But I do think that you have to give Piccolo and his staff a lot of credit because they made a lot of moves at the deadline that were not big-time moves. They weren't warranting of the breaking news sounder. But now as you look at this team, as they've put things together, all right, they kind of got something going here. If you look at the odds and you look at the numbers, it's not crazy to think that the Royals make the postseason. The last time I think you and I looked at the numbers, Rob, they had a 1 in 8 chance of making it. Right now, it's about a 1 in 4, 1 in 5 chance of making the postseason. So you got an outside shot. You got to keep taking care of business. You got to win series like this against the Rangers. You can't split these series. You got to win these series. And for the first time this season, you really got to hold your own against the good teams. You got the Tigers this weekend. You can't afford to lose series like this. You got to continue this momentum, keep the ball rolling, and that's how ultimately you give yourself a chance to win 87 games. The Royals need to go 23-14 down the stretch, in my opinion, for a realistic chance of making the postseason.
I think, and maybe this show's late to the game, but for the first time since that horrendous June, I am legitimately entertaining the idea that the Royals could make the postseason. And Denny said it, and you can catch the interview on the podcast page. It is a testament to the front office. We did not hit the breaking news sounder for Adam Frazier. I remember Cody and Gold told both of us, hey, people are really fired up about Adam Frazier. And we were like, huh? Who cares? It's Adam Frazier. He has been a good addition to this team. He's hitting like 300 since coming over and can play good defense. Like, that is a huge improvement. Mike Yastrzemski has been a really good leadoff hitter and is taking the pressure off Jonathan India later in the lineup. I mean, this lineup is not the 14-15 Royals, but you aren't giving away at bats. There was a time this season where it was Vinny was struggling, Salvi was struggling, their leadoff hitter in India was struggling, Bobby Witt was still Bobby Witt, and everyone else was struggling. There was a point where I went to a game earlier in the year, from 5 to 9 was like, woof. No one can hit. There was a Mark Canna, no disrespect to him. He didn't hit this year. There was a Hunter Renfroe. We all know what happened with that. There was an MJ Melendez. There have been times where Caglione, who I think has a high upside, were in the lineup, and he couldn't hit. Like Kevin Biggio, as you mentioned, like Freddie Fermin at one point, I was like, oh, he might be one of the better hitters on this team, and he was hitting the 220s. Like it was really, really, really desperate time. So now that the lineup looks like a major league lineup again, it gives them a chance to push into a playoff push, and the schedule, they've taken advantage of how advantageous it's been.
I mean, I think the message for next season, if the Royals don't end up making the postseason, I don't want to bury them, but if they end up not making the postseason, I think the message is going to be simple. And a bad 2 weeks of baseball can be the reason why you missed the postseason. I mean, that's really what we're talking about with the Royals. The Royals had a winning month in April. They had a winning month in May. They had a winning month in July. They currently have a winning month in August. They were 8-18 in June. You remember, they had 2 homestands in which they lost every game during that homestand. That's why they're going to miss the playoffs. If you look back and say, if this team ends up missing the postseason, your answer of why, it's going to be that 2-week stretch in June. Remember, they had Jack Caglione Day at the K, and everybody showed up for it. Remember, everybody was there. Reggie Jackson was there. The owner was there. Mahomes was there. Brittany was there. Sterling was. Everybody was at that game. They got 31,000 people on a Tuesday at Kauffman Stadium. They lost every game that week. Sometimes that's the difference in you making the postseason and missing the postseason. That we always act like, oh, man, you got time. Yeah, you got time. But the damage that was done during that stretch, it has now made it really difficult for you to make it up and to overcome it now. They went 8-18 in the month of June. So the damage that was done in June, you got to now you got to have a really hot month to balance out how disappointing you are in June. So, I mean, I think the message just next season, if this team ends up winning 84, 85 games and narrowly missing the postseason, the message that has to be communicated is, hey, we can't have those kind of stretches. You know, we love a basketball comparison. Yeah, you can play really good through the first 3 quarters of the game. If you give up a 17-2 run, you lost the basketball game. There's not enough time to overcome you letting them outscore you by 15 during the stretch. How many times in Allen Fieldhouse do we see this? Man, the game is really close for the most part. Next thing you know, Kansas goes on a 12-0 run. The crowd is now into it, and we all know you're done. You're not winning this game. You have no chance of winning this game. So going back, and now with the ability of hindsight, I mean, those 2 weeks in June where the Royals just couldn't do anything right, those have loomed very, very large over the rest of the season and have undone a lot of the really, really good work that the Royals have put in this season. So I gave you one homework assignment today, Rob. I gave you one homework assignment. I asked you to go through the last 25 drafts that the Chiefs have had, and I want you to create your all-disappointment team. Now, I know on the text line, you guys are going to bring up somebody that played in 1991. These are the last 25 drafts. So why didn't that person make the team? Well, they were drafted in 1992, sir. That's why they're not on the team. I gave Rob complete autonomy here. I haven't seen this, so we're going to hear this in real time. We're going to learn together of Rob's Chiefs draft picks, first team all disappointment. Rob, take it away.
You want me to start on offense or you want to start on defense?
Hit me with a little NFL music first.
We starting on offense, we starting on defense?
No, we got to start on offense. Give me who's the quarterback of this team?
I think the quarterback of this team is obvious. And by the way, not a lot of picks here because the Chiefs don't take a lot.
No, you're
right.
right.
The answer is Brody Croyle. Because Brody Croyle at one point started 9 games for the Chiefs. They believed the 3rd-round pick out of Alabama was the future. They moved on from Damon Heward. Not that Damon Heward is some great quarterback. And they said, Brody, you got the keys to the kingdom. And he went winless. He did not win a single game as the starting quarterback for the Chiefs. So Brody Croyle is the quarterback.
Okay, that's fair. You got 2 running backs for this team?
I have 1 running back, 3 receivers.
Okay.
Now, I might have funny moneyed it up a little bit
No, that's
here.
fair. It's your team.
Because at running back, I'm going to have Dexter McCluster.
Oh, I see what you did here.
Because he was a weapon, but he wasn't like a true receiver.
Okay.
So Dexter McCluster.
That's fair.
Did he bust his shoes in camp? Oh, people are excited. Dexter McCluster's my running back. Now, here are my 3 receivers, and here's how I massaged it. DeAnthony Thomas is one of them.
Oh, my goodness. I was really excited when they got DeAnthony Thomas. I thought DeAnthony Thomas had a chance of being a really good pro.
Oh, he was awesome in college. So
No, he was phenomenal. That's what got you so excited about it.
Jonathan Baldwin. No need to say more.
No, that's fair.
And I have Sky Moore ahead of Sylvester Morris. So those are my 3.
Okay, that's interesting.
Now, tight end, I had a real problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would have put Sly Moe on this team over DeAnthony Thomas just because of where the two were drafted.
Now, if you wanted, I made a note. If you want to move McCluster to wide receiver, bump Thomas out, and put Niall Davis at running back, I'm open to that.
Okay. Niall Davis, great in special teams, though. We can't hate on the special teams contribution for a Niall Davis.
He's not a running back, though. This isn't weapon. This is running back.
Okay, that's fair.
By the way, my tight end was a problem because basically since 2000, they've had 2 elite ones. So you had to find a window where a guy was drafted and didn't really live up to expectations.
This has to be Tony Moeaki.
It's Tony Moeaki.
It has to be Tony Moeaki.
Now, it's because of injury.
He was always hurt.
Always hurt. But Tony Moeaki.
Remember that catch he had?
Against the Niners.
Yeah, great catch. Great. That's one of the best catches in Chiefs history from Tony Moeaki.
Now, we're playing positionless football on the O-line, just so you know.
Okay, that's fine. However you want to do it, that's fine.
Here are the 5 offensive linemen.
Do you know what college Tony Moeaki went to?
Iowa.
I like keeping you on your feet. I like keeping you on your toes here on the drive.
Tight end, you. Here are the 5 offensive linemen.
Okay, that's fair.
Donald Stevenson, Parker Anger, Lucas Niang, Darian Kennard, Wanye Morris.
Okay, go through it again one more time.
Donald Stevenson.
Okay.
A lot of his is because he's not Russell Wilson. Like, that's just...
I like Donald Stevenson on personal. That's my guy.
Parker Anger. I mean, he was a 3rd-round pick and just nothing.
But you did turn Parker Anger into something.
You did.
You did turn him into Charvarius Ward.
He was the draft. He was the sportman.
Okay, that's fair.
Lucas Niang. I don't know if you ever heard this stat, but he was really good against Chase Young in the one college game they played. I heard that ad nauseum.
Well, you're right.
Darian Kennard. Everyone thought he was going to be.
I did think Darian Kennard was next up. I did think that.
And it's a little unfair to get lumped in here, but Wanye Morris.
Yeah.
A 3rd-round pick who might get cut this year.
That's tough on Wanye. That's tough. That's tough for Wanye.
So that's my offense.
Okay. All right. I can live with that. All right. We got to go over to the defense now.
Defense is where there's a lot more possibilities. I'm going to start with defensive end. Breland Speaks, one of the defensive ends.
I mean, he might be the team captain.
I mean, come on now.
He played 1 season.
Defensive tackle, I got Ryan Sims and Tyson Jackson. Tyson Jackson was a top 5 pick. Just let's all remember that moment. A top 5 pick, Tyson Jackson.
Hold on, let me go back and look at Tyson Jackson's career. Let me go back and look.
It will underwhelm.
I mean, I believe you. Let me go back and look at Tyson Jackson. Tyson Jackson played 8 years in the league. I mean, he wasn't great with the Chiefs. I mean, he wasn't great.
He was a top 5 pick.
He wasn't great.
His is a lot about draft position.
He wasn't great.
And my final defensive lineman, I got FAU.
He's on this team.
I got FAU over Glenn Dorsey.
Yeah, Glenn Dorsey actually was a good player. Like I will.
Glenn Dorsey's weird because he played tackle. He played a hybrid position. They played him at tackle and at end. So if you want to say he's a tackle, then cool. But I have FAU as my final DN.
Yeah, I mean, Glenn Dorsey was a better football player than Felix Eisen. I don't really think that it's that close between those two. He was a better player. Now, he wasn't worthy of where the Chiefs selected him.
He had the same problem Tyson Jackson.
I mean, he should have been the 5th overall pick in the draft. But, yeah, no, I'm with you there. Have you ever gone through that draft that he was in?
It's Matt Ryan's draft.
Yeah, it's kind of a void, though, after him. Like, here were the other picks in the draft. So, Glenn Dorsey was the 5th overall pick. Vernon Golston was 6. Cedric Ellis was 7. Derek Harvey, 8. Keith Rivers was 9. Gerard Mayo was 10th that year. I mean, that's just not a great draft class. Now looking back at it, Aqib Talib, who went 20th that year, Aqib Talib should have been picked in the top 10. He ended up being one of the better players in that draft class. He was a very, very good pro.
Now, we're going to play some nickel here because there's not a lot of linebacker options, but there's 2 that made my team.
Okay.
Ramik Wilson, Nico Johnson.
Ramik Wilson. I forgot completely about that name.
Both of those guys were supposed to be SEC middle linebacker thumper types. They played for Saban and they played at Georgia, and they were going to be next to Derek Johnson. It was going to be go time, and neither one of them were anything.
I will say this, though. A lot of times when a guy's going to end up being a bust, you know kind of early on.
Oh, and Nico was fast.
Like, Nico's kind of one of those guys, like, yeah, you knew in the middle of the second year, like, hey, I don't know if this thing's going to work out for you here, my guy. Like, sometimes you just kind of instantly know, and he was one of those individuals.
All right, now here's my secondary. And like I said, I'm playing nickel, so I got 5 here. Let's start with corner. We got 3 corners in the field. We got Phillip Gaines. We got William Barty. And we got Kavari Russell.
Wow. It's hard to argue those 3. That's a strong 3 of draft disappointments for the Chiefs. That's a strong 3.
Now, safety gets a little tougher because they actually have drafted safety pretty well.
Yeah, that actually might be, outside of running back, that might be the best position they have. I guess tight end would be pretty high up there, too.
But I got 2, and they're high-ish picks, but they had a lot of buzz and did nothing.
One is going to be Sanders Cummings. Has to be Sanders Cummings.
Sanders Cummings is one of them.
Has to be.
Sanders Cummings was everyone's favorite
100%
camp hero.
100%.
And then I also have Armani Watts. He was that first draft class from Veach.
That's a good one.
4th round pick. People thought, oh, A&M, he'll be a guy.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, give me the offense one more time, and then we'll go through the defense.
Quarterback was Brody Croyle. Running back, I cheated a little bit and put Dexter McCluster there. Receiver, I have Sky Moore, DeAnthony Thomas, Jonathan Baldwin. Tight end, Tony Moayaki. And O-line, I play positionless football in the O-line. I got Donald Stevenson, Parker Anger, Lucas Niang, Darian Kennard, and Wanye Morris.
Okay. All right. I don't like that you put Donald Stevenson on there. Donald's my guy.
Donald's a great guy.
He's my guy. I'm a little disappointed you put him on there. I'm a little disappointed.
A lot of him is because, you know what, he's not? Russell Wilson.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. And on the defense, let's go through the defense one more time. For those of you just tuning in, I had Rob make his all disappointment Chiefs draft team. They had to be drafted in the last 25 years. So some of you are asking, why is this guy not on the list? Because he wasn't drafted in the last 25 years. That's why he didn't make this list.
On defense, I got my D-line. I've got FAU and Breland Speaks at the end, Ryan Sims and Tyson Jackson on the inside, Ramik Wilson, Nico Johnson at linebacker, and in the secondary, I got William Barty, Phillip Gaines, Kavari Russell, Armani Watts, and Sanders Cummings.
Somebody on the text line said, where's John Asamoah? That is a name that I haven't heard in a decade of John Asamoah. Didn't he go to Illinois?
He did go to Illinois, yeah.
Okay, all right. So that memory, Rob, you're not getting anything past me. You're not getting a single thing past me. Whatever happened to John Asamoah? How long did he play for the Chiefs? Did he have a long career with the Chiefs?
Let's look up old John Asamoah.
Yeah, no, I kind of forgot about John Asamoah. I really did. I kind of forgot about it. You know what? While you're looking that up, I want to play this from Dana Hughes, friend of the show, Dana Hughes. Here he is talking about the wide receiver room now than where we were 12 months ago.
The jury's still out for me, and that's an honest assessment. One, we haven't played multiple games together. Like, we can look at last year and get a snapshot of what could have been, but we didn't have Hollywood Brown early in the season. When we finally got him back, he wasn't necessarily 100%. We didn't have Rashee Rice. I think they are capable, and Andy Reid has said it. This team, this wide receiving group is capable of being the best he's ever coached. That's a tall task and high praise. But I still have to see it. Like, to me, we haven't seen them in the preseason games. We haven't seen them assembled together. We haven't seen them all healthy. It's tough to look at the Legion of Zoom that won that Super Bowl in the 2019 season and say that this group is better, but I'm waiting to see that because they had a different complement. Obviously, with Tyreek Hill, you had Sammy Watkins that was a more bigger physical receiver. Like, I think that dynamic was different, but I'm excited about this wide receiving crew. If they can stay healthy and Patrick Mahomes has the confidence in him like he did with them, it's going to be something special.
Yeah, I mean, I think every conversation about their wide receiver room has two major asterisks attached to it. If they stay healthy, depending on what happens to Rashee Rice. If they have those three guys healthy, there's no doubt in my mind that they can be a top 10 offense in the league. if you got a healthy Isaiah Pacheco, a quarterback that's in their prime, an improved offensive line, one of the best play callers in the history of the National Football League, and those three guys at wide receiver, and oh yeah, they got a first ballot Hall of Fame tight end too, who is an expert at eating up zone defenses. If you got those things all in the pot, you got something there. But at least just so far, we haven't got a chance to see everybody healthy on their wide receiver room at the exact same time. So that's why when we talk about this, when it comes to Hollywood Brown, he's the only person right now I'm worried about. Now, we'll see what happens with Rashee Rice. Maybe a settlement is reached and he's suspended for the very beginning of the season. I don't know. But the way things currently sit, I expect Rashee Rice to play week 1. I expect Xavier Worthy to play week 1. I don't know about Hollywood Brown. I don't think you can ever pencil in what you're going to get from Hollywood Brown. So a lot of this just conversation really comes down to him and the ability to get all of those guys healthy all at the same time. And if they can do that, then I think this offense can get back to what we're accustomed to. And it's not been the last couple of years. The last couple of years, the Chiefs' offense has been average. Look at the numbers. They've been average the last couple of years. You shouldn't be average with the quarterback that's in the prime of his career that we believe is the most talented of his generation and one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time. You shouldn't be ranked 19th in offense if you have that person at the helm. I think a lot of that is weapons, a lot of that is parts, and just getting those guys back healthy and getting those guys back on the field. That was Danny Hughes talking about the wide receiver, and I wanted to play that for you guys. A couple of suggestions that have been thrown out on the text line for our all disappointment team. Someone said, what about Kendrick Lewis? Kendrick Lewis would have been a good pick at safety. Who were the safeties that you put down for them? Because I can't argue Sanders Cummings. I can't argue that.
I had Sanders Cummings and Armani Watts. Kendrick Lewis just missed.
Just missed the team.
Armani Watts, I don't believe ever started a game for the Chiefs. Kendrick Lewis was bad, but he was starting. I mean, it's hard to really complain too much.
Someone also put on the list Dorian O'Daniel. Dorian O'Daniel was a worthy linebacker pick. There was like a 4-year stretch there where Dorian O'Daniel kept making the team, and none of us could figure out why he was making the team. Like, you got to be a special teams wizard, my guy, to continue to be on this team. Did Dorian O'Daniel play in the league after the Chiefs?
That's a great question. Really?
Because you could tell me Dorian O'Daniel played for 9 years in the league, and it wouldn't surprise me.
I think 9 years. By the way, he's only 30 right now.
No, he played 4 years with the Chiefs.
And then he was done.
That was it. Okay, I didn't know. But I'm just saying, you agree there was a time there where you're like, wait, hold on. Like, why is Dorian O'Daniel still around? But no, he was around. He finished out his rookie year in Kansas City, and then that was out of the league.
By the way, we talked about this yesterday. Like, Brett Veach has gotten really good at drafting. That first draft Brett Veach had, 2018, was really bad. That first Brett Veach draft, because me and you don't give him 2017. His first draft was woof.
Yeah, then he
got Noddy. He got Derek Noddy, no. and then he figured it out.
Yeah, no, then he got really good at it. And then he has those 2 drafts that they are as strong as you can draft if you don't need a quarterback. Like those 2 drafts when they needed to fix their defense and turn things around and they needed starters. And another reason of how the Chiefs got here is they won the Tyreek Hill trade. Like that is a trade that a lot of teams mess up. We got a guy that's worth all of this. We can go through examples. Teams mess up the Tyreek Hill trade every other year in the National Football League. They turn that into legitimate, productive starters. Guys that have now signed their second contract. Like every time things could have went a different direction for the Chiefs, they just knocked it out of the park. You and your star wide receiver are at odds. All right, we need to trade you. All right, we're just going to win the trade. They've done a really good job at that. And you're right. Like, it was obvious the Chiefs kind of needed to replenish things, and they needed a really good draft, and they hit. They hit on what? 6? They found 6 starters, I believe, in that 2019 draft. The one with Pacheco and the Creed Humphrey draft, they found 6 starters that year. That is a really, really hard thing to do in the National Football League. Coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to get back to the Royals. Our Royals insider, Josh Vernier, is going to join us on the show. The Royals are one of the hottest teams in baseball. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, your home for the best food takes in KC.
Regular old American nachos. You know, I don't need jalapenos with mine, just chips, cheese.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
Men, summertime is here. And that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be. And if what I'm describing is you, it's very likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Heartland Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. Deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an enhanced sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Get ready, KC! August 23rd will not be your average Saturday. Harris, Kansas City is dropping $700 in free play every 7 minutes from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's dozens of winners all day long. And it all leads to the big one. At 10:01 p.m., one lucky guest will take home a jaw-dropping $70,000 in cash. That's over $140,000 in free play and cash flying out the door in just one day. Harris, Kansas City, where the cash keeps coming, and you could be our next winner. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So we do a giveaway at GiveMeTheVin.com. Every month we're giving away $25,000 to one lucky person that sells us their car. Karen, you there?
I'm here.
Karen Gardner of Oceanside, California is the latest winner in GiveMeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway.
What did you sell us?
I sold you a 95 Impala.
And what did we pay you for it?
You guys gave me 18.
18 plus 25,000 because you're the winner, Karen.
Oh my God, you're kidding.
You could be next to get a little more, maybe a lot more.
You guys are awesome. Keep it up.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com. Sell us your car.
Training camp in St. Joe is over. And you know, they don't just call it training camp. They're actually training for the skills they'll have to use all season long. And you know who else trains that way? Centric Training, you know, except without the shoulder pads and the helmet. They'll train you on the exact job skills you'll need to be a cybersecurity specialist, and they'll do it in just 4 months, not 4 years. Get started today, and you can be in your new career before the playoffs even start. Reach out to our friend Russ. Go to Centric.com.
Steve here with Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. I thought it would be good to share just a bit about us. My wife, Emily, and I started the company in 2012. We are local, family-owned and operated, middle-sized company. Our industry seems to overpromise and underdeliver. We don't work that way. We have natural limitations, but we do what we say we will, which is enough. We would love to win you over. Call 913-768-7676 or visit ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com to scout.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And we cut to size, because just like taxes and BS, we think metal is better when cut. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Find a store or shop online at metalsupermarkets.com.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
Brought to you by Duke's Mayonnaise.
This is the Duke's country song. It's a song
about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. The crash down south still there. 2-car crash. 470 eastbound just past 50 in the left lane. In Shawnee, that's a stall. 635 southbound before Shawnee Drive. Right lane blocked. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
I know that you guys do this from time to time, and it's okay. Sometimes, do you ever get on Facebook and maybe you see people you went to high school with or college with that you're still friends, and you think, man, I'm glad that ain't me, man. It's okay if you think that. Like, I think that's kind of a normal thing, honestly. I'm guessing that you guys also do that at quarterback in the National Football League. Like, you remember what it was like to be one of these franchises. So when you hear these news stories and the Browns, they have a quarterback controversy between Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders, and Kenny Pickett, you got to be laughing at these franchises. You have to be looking down on these franchises. It couldn't be me. I don't know what it's like. I've been to 3 Super Bowl parades. I don't know nothing you're talking about. So let's talk about these poverty franchises. Let's start with the Cleveland Browns. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something that I'm actually been kind of afraid to let you guys know this, but I have the ability to look into the future. It's kind of like That's So Raven. That's why I'm so good at Survivor. Actually, that's why I'm the best at Survivor. It's because I have ability to see into the future when it comes to NFL dealings. Don't we all know how this is going to go? You know what I know Joe Flacco is going to do this season? He's going to be Joe Flacco. He's going to throw a lot of interceptions, and the Browns are not going to win a lot of games. And it's going to be the middle of October. It's going to be spooky season. You're going to be at Spirit Halloween, trying to get your costumes ready. And the Browns are going to be in the middle of a quarterback controversy. The fans are going to want to change. The coach is going to feel like he has to make a change to keep his job. And then they're going to go to one of the young guns. And they're going to say, well, the plan was to, the plan changed because you were the Browns and you made the decision to start Joe Flacco. I mean, we all see how this is going to be. I mean, I know I have the gift, but I imagine some of you got the same gift. We all know how this is about to happen with the Browns. Joe Flacco will not be starting November 1st. It will either be Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders. One of the two young guys. I don't even know. If I'm Kenny Pickett, I'm just simply asking for a trade. You're never going to play there in Cleveland. There's no scenario in which you play. So that's the first quarterback issue of a poverty franchise. The other one is the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I even believe that Daniel Jones is the better of the two quarterbacks. So if you're saying that the argument is that they made the decision to start the better of the two quarterbacks, I guess. I would say those are two bad options, but I guess. What I don't understand is Anthony Richardson is 23 years old. He's 23. He has made 15 starts in the National Football League. He has thrown fewer than 400 passes. If there was ever a time to give him one last chance, it's heading into your third year as a starter when I believe, let me knock on wood, I believe that Anthony Richardson right now is healthy. I believe he's healthy. I don't know, but I believe that he's healthy. Why are the Colts not starting Anthony Richardson? What is gained by starting Daniel Jones? Is Daniel Jones going to be the starting quarterback next year for the Colts? The answer is probably no, right? The Colts lose enough games this year. They fire their head coach. They fire their quarterback. They find a new quarterback. They find a new head coach. Again, I can see into the future. I know how this is going to end. You only start Daniel Jones if you're really worried. So you got to win like 7-8 games. You got to show the owner why he should give you another chance and a reason to start a new quarterback. But come on now. I mean, this is a waste of time for everybody. These two situations are a waste of time. Joe Flacco starting for the Browns is a waste of everybody's time. Starting Daniel Jones over your top 5 pick who's heading into year 3. He hasn't started a full season of games yet. You want to know when things really turn for Anthony Richardson? When he asked out of that game. There's some things you can't do as an NFL player. Maybe he was dead tired and he thought that it was in his best interest to you cannot volunteer to come out of a football game as the quarterback. You can do it as a running back. You can do it as the wide receiver. We see that all the time. A guy taps his head, hey, and that's part of the culture. You can't be the quarterback of a team and ask out because you're tired. I don't think he could ever lead that team after that. If you make this decision with Anthony Richardson, then you've told us it's over. It's done. You made a decision after 2 years. Maybe he'll come in the middle of the season because Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones or an injury happens, but you have now signified to everybody that you are prepared to move on from your top 5 pick and that time is over. I don't know if we ever in league history have seen teams so willing to turn things over at quarterback. Like, I think, there were some things that we have gotten from the rookie cap. Because you remember there was a time that quarterbacks just got paid. Now, I think what you're seeing is, with this rookie cap, it's not that big of a deal. It's not ideal. No one wants to throw away a top 5 pick, but we're not really paying you that much money, and we'll just simply draft your replacement before your rookie contract is over. Like, we'll just continue to keep firing and keep firing and keep firing until we get this thing right. So I think we now know a couple of teams that are guaranteed to draft a quarterback next season. The Colts are one of those teams. The Browns are one of those teams. I'm not surprised that Cleveland did this. I've thought for a while that Flacco was going to be their starting quarterback. I am a little bit surprised that they made the decision to start Daniel Jones over Anthony Richardson, who they just spent a top 5 pick on in 2023. They didn't even let him start year 3.
We see it all the time in the NFL. You draft quarterback top 5, you still stink. You draft another quarterback in the top 5. Like, isn't taking Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson a chance at, Nussmeier? Isn't it a chance at Lenora Sellers? Isn't it a shot at Cade Klubnik? Like, I'm going to pull Arch out of this because I think Arch is going to stay another year in college, and that's a different conversation for a different day. But if Nussmeier is that guy, the best way to save your franchise is to bottom out. Daniel Jones gives you a better chance of bottoming out. Because if Anthony Richardson goes 6-11 but shows some stuff, people are going to want him in year 4 to develop. How do you guarantee people don't want that? You stink. And you stink with a quarterback who has no future, and then you draft Garrett Nussmeier, or you draft whoever in next year's draft, and you try to outstink the Saints, and you try to outstink those other teams.
Yeah, someone on the text line says you should see the Warren Sharp tweets about how bad Anthony Richardson has been. I saw the tweet earlier today. I'm not here telling you that I think Anthony Richardson is good. I don't understand the logic in drafting a quarterback with the top 5 pick, not letting him start into year 3 and giving it to Daniel Jones. I've seen enough Daniel Jones to also know that he is not a good starting quarterback in the National Football League. Unless you're telling me that Jonathan Taylor is going to go back to being a top 5 back in the league, that is the only chance. The only chance that we have seen a decent version of Daniel Jones was when Saquon Barkley was around him. I kind of know what Daniel Jones is. The last 5 seasons of Daniel Jones, 11 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, 15 touchdowns. Best case scenario for Daniel Jones is he completes 65% of his passes and throws 13 touchdowns this year with minimal interception. That is the best possible scenario for Daniel Jones. The kid ain't good. I'm sorry. He is entering year 7 of his NFL career. He is 28 years old. He ain't good. I know now maybe this is a Sam Darnold world that we think that everybody can turn things around. I've seen the Colts roster. They ain't got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison on their team. They don't have that offensive line. They don't have any of the things that would make me think that Daniel Jones is going to have a chance at being decent this season. The Colts look 4-13 ready this season, and they look like, to what you just said, Garrett Nussmeier, you were about to be the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts next year. Coming up at the top of the hour, Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are opening up a steakhouse in Kansas City. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here, so drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. The crash down south still there. Two-car crash. 470 eastbound just past 50 in the left lane. And Shawnee, that's a stall. 635 southbound before Shawnee Drive. Right lane blocked. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5 The Fan.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Could you use a little bit of extra help in the bedroom? We all could. Blue Chew is there to help. Your partner wants you to do whatever it takes to make your sex life better, and Blue Chew is that secret weapon for the bedroom or wherever you decide to get it on. The Chiefs, they're in training camp. They're getting after it. They're trying to train and get their bodies ready for the start of the season here in about a month. What if you didn't need any training to improve your performance and be at your best when it is time to perform? I'm talking about Blue Chew. Turn oh no into oh yes. And if you don't like chewing tablets, that's perfectly fine because Blue Chew's tablets are chewable. They're an online prescription service. There's no awkward visits or conversations at the doctor's office, no waiting in line at the pharmacy. It ships right to your door in a discreet package. And if you want a great offer, free sounds good, right? Go to BlueChew.com and get your first month free when you use our promo code KFNZ at checkout. Just pay $5 in shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code KFNZ to receive your first month free. Then you'll be ready to chew it and do it.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Get a bottle of Seafoam motor treatment for just $8.99 and receive 5 times O Rewards points with the purchase at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Want to see the 2015 World Champion Royals swing it again? Come out to Home Run Derby X at Kauffman Stadium for a reunion on September 13th. Eric Hosmer, Mike Moustakas, Alex Gordon, Ben Zobrist, and Lorenzo Cain take their cuts against reps from the Blue Jays and the Mets. Come join the action for a night of massive dingers, slick defense, and target-smashing thrill. You don't want to miss it. Get your tickets now at MLB.com/HRDXKC. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Tonight, expect a low of 72 with partly cloudy skies.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
It's not too late to enjoy your summer with a new or improved deck. Go to PowellExteriorsKC.com to schedule a consultation today. Get your free estimate now, and you could be enjoying your new deck or patio in a matter of weeks. You are one click away from your best summer ever.
On Tuesday, August 26th, it's FanDuel Futures Day, a new holiday for football fans. It's 24 hours of deals on all your favorite season predictions. So you can take a flyer on the MVP race. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is 6.5 to 1 to win MVP. But further down the board, how about Tampa Bay Bucks quarterback Baker Mayfield sitting at 25 to 1? Maybe you want to crown your champion in August for a divisional race. How about taking a flyer on the Jags in the AFC South, sitting at 3 to 1 to win their division? Mark your calendars. This is your day for your hunches, your hot takes, your calls, and your odds. Visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now. Because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and present in Kansas. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
A blood emergency has been declared in the Kansas City region, and donors are urgently needed. Now through August 26th, donate with Community Blood Center and be entered to win tickets to the Chiefs home opener. Visit savealifenow.org or call 877-468-6844 to schedule your donation today.
Football is back, Labor Day is around the corner, and Hy-Vee is ready for fall. Stock up on all your fall favorites during the gigantic 3-day sale this Friday through Sunday. Invite your friends and fire up the grill with Bar S Franks just 98 cents a pack, Doritos chips just $2.99, Pepsi 24-pack cans for $10.99, and Brew Pub Pizza just $4.99 each. Let's go, you fans of fall. Rush to the gigantic 3-day sale this weekend only at Hy-Vee. If you're crazy for craft beer, a connoisseur of Cabernet, or master of the margarita, Hy-Vee Wine and Spirits has a huge selection in stock and competitively priced. From value bottles of wine starting at $3.99 to top shelf liquors, get 10% off when you mix and match 6 or more bottles. Hy-Vee's knowledgeable and friendly staff is here to help, or place your order through aisles online for added convenience. Low price, selection, service, and convenience. There's more to love at Hy-Vee Wine and Spirits.
Shopping for a new Ford? Go where it's easy. Rob Sight Ford. Non-commissioned staff, huge trade-in values, and Kansas City's top-rated Ford dealer. Rob Sight Ford. ROBSIGHT.com.
Rob Sight Ford. Non-commissioned staff, low prices, best trade-ins, and the biggest selection. Visit robsight.com.
The world's coming to Kansas City in 2026. Is your parking lot ready? Faded lines, potholes, unsafe sidewalks. Gann Asphalt and Concrete is your winning team. One contractor. All things parking lot. Visit GannAsphalt.com today.
Tune in Saturday, August 23rd for K-State and Iowa State. Live from Dublin with pregame starting at 9, kickoff at 11 on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2. Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, welcome back into the show. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to head to Kauffman Stadium to be joined by Josh Vernier. We'll talk a little Royals baseball coming up in just a bit. All right, a couple of things I want to talk about. Number one, I want to play some audio for you guys from Nick Wright. You know we love a good Hall of Fame debate on this show. Nick goes through every player that he currently thinks is a lock to make the Hall of Fame from the NFC. So we'll play that here coming up in just a bit. But before we do that, I'm sure that you guys have seen the news by now. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes, they have decided to come together to open up a steakhouse. It is going to be in the Lowe's Hotel, and it is going to open up on Patrick Mahomes' birthday, I believe tomorrow at noon, if you want to try to grab an early reservation. That is the first time that you can do it. I plan on going. Rob, you plan on going. Hope to see you there at 1587 Prime. That's not really what I want to talk about, though. Rob, I wanted to ask you this question. Whenever you and your lady go out to a nice steakhouse, and you know they have the appetizer menu, and then they got the sides menu, when they bring the appetizer portion of the meal around, because if I'm going to a steakhouse, I mean, we got to order the appetizers, too. That's part of the experience. You can't pass on the appetizers. You might can pass on the appetizers at some kind of restaurants, but at a place like this, I'm grabbing an app. What do you think the number one pick is at a steakhouse like this? Because I think it is obvious. I don't care what part of the country you're in, and I know that we live in a part of the country that necessarily you wouldn't think that you're getting the finest of this. Boy, do I love a good crab cake.
I did not think that's what you were going to say.
I love a good crab cake. You're telling me you're sitting there, you got a nice steak coming up, and she asks you what you need, and you sit there looking at that menu. It's like the crab cake, it's calling me. I see it flashing from the menu, and I'm like, man, hey, go and hand me that. I'm not even asking questions about the crab cake. That's the one that I need right there. Go ahead and give me that. What's your go-to, what's your number one pick of an appetizer in one of these nice, fancy steakhouses? Because crab cake is number one for me.
Well, crab cake's wrong, just so you know. I thought for sure, I was convinced 100% back here you were going to say oyster. I know you're affinity for oysters. I thought oysters was coming. I like it.
That's just not my number one overall pick. I do love an oyster. I do like an oyster, though. Don't get me wrong. I do like an oyster. But I understand it's an acquired taste. And I'm just saying, where we are, the crab cake, there's a very small chance that I don't like it. The oyster, I know that there's better out there. But the crab cake, no. The crab cake, it very rarely does me wrong. I'm getting it almost every time.
I think the most popular answer is going to be shrimp cocktail. Think of like a steakhouse. It always has that shrimp cocktail cold plate that comes out. Think about maybe one of the most famous steakhouses in the world, St. Elmo's in Indianapolis. You know what it has? Elite shrimp cocktail. I think shrimp cocktail is the most popular item in the appetizer portion of a steakhouse menu.
Yeah, I just don't want cold shrimp. I just don't want cold shrimp. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not saying that the shrimp cocktail is bad. There's usually a cooked version of it, so I'm a big fan. Someone said on the text line, what about calamari? good calamari is pretty high up on this list too. It's got to be done right though.
I don't usually see calamari on a steakhouse menu. I see it places, but steakhouses, it feels like it's like a cold seafood item, or they usually have like a steak tartare or a beef carpaccio. You don't see a lot of, fried calamari at high-level steakhouses.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do the shrimp cocktail.
By the way, shrimp is better cold than hot. That's my hot take.
It's not a hot take. It's just a bad take.
100% correct.
It's a bad take.
When shrimp is cold, it's better than when shrimp is hot.
I'm serious. That's a really bad take, honestly.
You're telling me a fried shrimp versus shrimp cocktail, one's clearly better. You're telling me you turned down a ceviche because you want some sort of shrimp scampi? You're nuts.
I'm okay. No thanks. You can have it. I mean, I'm not saying I won't eat it. I'm just not ordering the shrimp cocktail. Like, if you're telling me, like, I'm gonna spend $22 on this appetizer one way or the other, the cold shrimp, that ain't near the top of the list for me. It's not near the top of the list. Not at all. I just went to Gordon Ramsay this past weekend for my mom, and they got this lobster risotto out there. If you've been to the Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse, I'm telling you, you already know what I'm talking about. It's A1. And if you haven't been to the Gordon Ramsay Steakhouse, let me tell you, it's A+. Fine dining out there. 2 thumbs up. Highly recommend. I want to play this audio for you guys because if there's one thing that we love on this show, it is arguing about who should be in the Hall of Fame and who shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Friend of the show, our dear friend Nick Wright, here is he going through every player in the NFC that is a lock to make the Hall of Fame. Let's argue.
Lock Hall of Famers. The only guy on the Eagles that could retire today and be certain they're getting in is Lane Johnson. Saquon is on track, and Jalen Hurts is on track, but needs a little bit more. You got to be very choosy with the locks. Dak is not going to make it. Micah is a great bet to make it, but is too young. I think Russell Wilson right now is on the outside looking in. Bobby Wagner's definitely making it. Von Miller is a Hall of Famer. I think Joe Thuney is in. I would bet a lot of money that Penei Sewell eventually makes it. You just haven't done enough yet. Man, this is tough. Justin Jefferson is going to make the Hall of Fame, but if he were to walk today, he's not in yet. Cam Jordan, his sack numbers are insane. He's making the Hall of Fame. Mike Evans is the one lock the Bucs have. Davante Adams is a lock, but I don't think Stafford's a lock. I think he will get in, but I would not bet my net worth on it. Calais Campbell, call him a lock. Trent Williams is a definitive lock. Fred Warner is a definitive lock. And George Kittle's a lock. Christian McCaffrey obviously has a chance, just doesn't have enough healthy seasons. So here's what we've got. Lane Johnson, Von Miller, Bobby Wagner, Joe Thuney, Cam Jordan, Mike Evans, Davante Adams, Calais Campbell, Trent Williams, Fred Warner, George Kittle. That's the end of it.
All right, this was very, very interesting. Are we sure Joe Thuney is a lock to make the Hall of Fame? Lock. Guaranteed lock. I think he is. Not probably. I think it's a probably. Are we sure that Joe Thuney's a lock? Like, there's no chance you can see that Joe Thuney doesn't get into the Hall of Fame. Like, I don't know if I'd put him in the lock category, but he's a very interesting case. I know you're thinking I'm going to say something about Mike Evans. I'm not going to say anything about Mike Evans.
I was waiting for a Mike Evans conversation.
For sure. I'm saying my Hall of Fame criteria is different, but just if we're following the Hall of Fame criteria, yes, Mike Evans will make the Hall of Fame. I know that. Davante Adams is a lock to make the Hall of Fame? I don't know about that. Let's go through Davante Adams. He's a lock to make it? No question to make it. I mean, he's not on the all-decade team, and he only has he's only been all-pro 3 times. Do we think Davante Adams is making the all-decade team for the 2010s? Because he did make it for the 2000s. Or the 2010s, excuse me. So he did make it for the 2010s, and that was his entire career in Green Bay. He started in Green Bay in 2014, so he wasn't on that all-decade team. I don't think he's going to be on this. He was not one of the 2 best wide receivers over the last 10 years. Is he going to make it on this team? I don't think Davante Adams is a lock at all, actually.
Yeah,
not even close to a lock.
I don't know he makes it at all. Like, I think he will, but I don't think you can put him in lock category. I mean, he's not making all decade for 2020s. He's not.
No, he's not.
Unless he does something in LA that no one sees coming. But his time with the Raiders is not, oh man, you got to get that guy into the all-decade team.
Yeah, I don't see Davante Adams as a lock.
No.
Not at all. I actually don't think he's getting in. So it's very odd. Like, I'm on the opposite side.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't think he's in either.
I would think the answer for him is just no. Someone on the text line says George Kittle is not a lock. I think you're wrong.
George Kittle's a lock.
I think George Kittle's 100% getting in.
No doubt.
I think George Kittle's the second best tight end from his era. I think that gets you in.
He's also, I assume he's been an all-decade team. Like, I'm just thinking out loud about it. Multiple all-pros is my guess.
He didn't make it because his first year was in 2017. But I'm guessing that he will be the all-decade tight end for this one. It'll be Kelsey and then him.
Yeah,
that's two tight ends that make it. I think that Kittle is a lock for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's been all-pro 2 times, second-team all-pro. I mean, that's just because Travis Kelsey on the other side. I mean, 5 times he's been in the league. He's been all-pro. And again, I think he's the second best player at his position during his generation. Yeah, I think that guy gets in. And he's been a part of 2 teams. He's been, you could argue, I mean, the best offensive player for 2 teams that made the Super Bowl. Now, Christian McCaffrey, the last one. But I think George Kittle is a lock. Those are the only 2 that really stand out to me, the guys I disagree with. Is there anybody else that you're on the fence with? Like, Tooney to me is a I honestly think the argument for Tooney is just his position group. Like,
guard's hard, yeah.
I was saying, like, if Tooney played tackle, we wouldn't be having this conversation. He played left guard. So lock to me suggests you can go in on the first ballot. He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Like, he is not going in on the first try. Does he eventually get in? Yeah, probably. Like, I think he is on the right side of the Hall of Fame conversation. I do not think that Devontae Adams is on the right side of the Hall of Fame conversation. Even though Devontae Adams was really, really good. He was a very, very good, very productive wide receiver. I do not think he is getting in.
I agree. Those are the only locks. I don't want Stafford to be, but I bet Stafford's a lock. I don't like it, but I think we're going to live. Stafford's going to be part of that middle group where we haven't really reevaluated quarterback yet, and his Super Bowl will get him in there. It's going to make me unhappy, but I do think he's going to be a Hall of Famer, so I think he's in lock category, although I hate it. But yeah, those are the only complaints I had. People saying George Kittle's not a Hall of Famer is crazy to me.
Coming up on the other side, we are going to be joined by Josh Vernier, our Royals insider. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, host of the Random Royals lineup on 96.5 The Fan.
Baseball with the Royals.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey guys, football season is right around the corner. So that means whether you're watching your favorite college team or maybe you're watching the pros play, you're going to have people over and you're going to have your own watch parties. Well, if you plan on having a watch party this fall, make sure that includes the best barbecue in town at Gates Barbecue. With 5 locations around town, you are never too far away from that classic Gates barbecue taste. And let me tell you, the last time I was there, I got the burnt E Mac, absolutely phenomenal. Now, you know, I'm a mixed plate kind of guy, but now I got to make sure I get that on the side. I got to make sure that I get that burnt E Mac. I put a little bit of the sauce in there. I mix it all up. Oh my goodness, it's absolutely delicious. Maybe you like to get your own grilling done during the football season. Well, you can still incorporate Gates Barbecue into that. Next time you're at the grocery store, make sure you go get some of the Gates sauce. Also, make sure that you go get some of the Gates seasoning. You can get that at any area local grocery store. It's Carrington here telling you, when football season around, with tailgate season right around the corner, I know you're going to be doing some grilling. And if you plan on doing some grilling or even eating some barbecue at the function, make sure that it includes Gates Barbecue.
This is Dana Hughes. In Kansas City football, we honor tradition, but we always look forward to what's next. That's why I'm all in for Flight by Yingling. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, but built for today. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp, clean, and full of flavor, just the way a light beer should be. It's got the legacy and the stats to back it up. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Dana Hughes. D.G. Yingling and Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
The other place with 5 great Kansas City locations: Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission, and Belton. Stop by this summer and enjoy their beautiful patios, all while listening to some live music at most locations Thursday through Saturdays. And on game day, they have enough big screens that you'll never miss a minute of the action, all while enjoying some great food and beer specials. So make the other place your summer headquarters. The other place: Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission and Belton. Check out the other place.com.
Hi, it's Christina with Piropo's Restaurant on the hill at Briarcliff. When you dine at Piropo's, you love the cuisine we mastered from Argentina, like our famous empanadas, crab bisque, peppercorn encrusted filet, and so much more. But we prepare to say wow with our stunning hilltop views overlooking downtown Kansas City. Be playful and enjoy life at Piropo's Fordine. Go to piroposkc.com or call 816-741-3600.
I'm McCall with Lee Summit Subaru, and it's time to make a big deal out of nothing. Announcing Lee Summit Subaru's 0% event. Up to 0% financing on select 2025 Subaru models for 72 months. And we have the largest selection of Subaru certified vehicles in Kansas City, starting as low as 1.9% for 72 months. Fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru. The Subaru A Lot to Love event.
Based on January 2025 through June 2025 Kansas City inventory listings.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Chiefs Kingdom, are we ready to play? It's time for the Chiefs Kingdom scratch ticket, only from the Kansas Lottery. You could win up to $75,000 instantly, with even more ways to win exclusive, one-of-a-kind Kansas City Chiefs experiences through the Play On app. Play the Kansas Lottery Chiefs Kingdom scratch ticket today. See kslottery.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back.
Almost Andy Reid here. Renner Garage Door has proudly served KC for nearly 70 years. Get your free estimate today, RENNER, forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Renner Garage Door. The multi-car crash is working 35 southbound just past Mission. It is the right lane blocked. Olathe, that's a stall. 35 southbound at Santa Fe, left lane blocked there from the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Michael Waka. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Rob, I want to finish this conversation really quickly about Tooney. I know that Vern's on hold. So I looked this up because I was curious during the break. So on Pro Football Reference, they have a Hall of Fame metric where like every player gets a score, for example, of where they are. So I guess, for example, like a quarterback, right? Like we all think Patrick Mahomes is going to the Hall of Fame. Like we don't have to debate it. So like the average quarterback score is 108. Patrick Mahomes is currently at 102. So obviously trending in a very positive direction that, and obviously Patrick Mahomes is going to the Hall of Fame. So for a guard, the average score that they have is 106 if you make it in at guard. We were talking about Joe Tooney. Nick Wright considers him to be a lock for the Hall of Fame. I don't know if I would consider him a lock. I think he eventually could get in. I don't know if I would consider him a lock. And when I saw this, it was actually very eye-opening. There are only 15 guards in the history of the NFL who have ever made the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So the average, they say, is 106. So to let you know, like on this, like Will Shields is a 90. And Joe Thuney right now is a 54.5. So just, I don't know if Joe Thuney is a lock. I know that he was a part of 4 championship teams, and Joe Thuney has obviously been a very, very good player. But, I mean, if you're looking at, like, just the All-Pros and Pro Bowls and stuff, I don't know if he is maybe as decorated as some of it. And that's just a really hard position to get in. If it was a tackle, I don't think we'd be having this conversation about Thuney, but just interior offensive line. Those are just usually not guys that are front of mind when you're having this conversation about who should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Let's go to the phone lines right now and be joined by our next guest. He is our Royals insider, Josh Verner, and the Royals. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball. Vern, how you doing today, my man?
I'm very well. How you doing?
Doing great, man. Vern, what has gotten into this Royals team? What has changed with this Royals team? I mean, I feel like the first 100 games or so, you and I talked about how disappointing this offense was. They were near the bottom of Major League Baseball. I mean, since the All-Star break, they're averaging more than 5 runs a game. They are certainly more well-rounded and complete offensively. What's changed?
Well, the roster's changed, right? Mike Yastrzemski, Adam Frazier, Randall Grichuk, bringing you on a nightly basis, 8 to 12 quality at-bats, which brings Bobby and Vinny and Salvi and Michael to the dish. You're not seeing any drop-off with Michael. Bobby Witt Jr. is hitting .315 here in the month of August. Vinnie Pasquantino continues to deliver in big spots like he has really since the calendar flipped to July. What you're seeing is an offense that is allowing this team to have a margin of error. You know, you and I talked throughout the first 3.5 months of this season about how the weight of the world was on this rotation. And every time the defense would make a rare miscue or the base running would have a blunder on the base paths, that would ultimately cost you. Because the offense was going to be lucky to scratch across 3, maybe 4 runs. Your starting pitcher and bullpen were going to give you a chance to win, but when you would make that defensive miscue, when you wouldn't push that 1 run across when you had a man in scoring position with less than 2 outs, it would always come back to bite you. Now with this lineup looking more like a professional big league offense, it's allowed some grace to this rotation, defense, and hitters. It's taken some of the burden off of this team. And I also have to mention, and I hate that this is true, but I'm glad that the organization recognized it. This team lacked leadership inside the clubhouse, or at least a calming force coming from someone with some dirt in their spikes, right? Every time there was a new face showing up in April, May, June, and July, it's Nick Lofton or John Rave or Jack Caglione or Drew Waters, guys that don't have a voice because they haven't done anything in the game. They certainly can't walk in and be like, guys, we're good. Trust me, we're going to turn this thing around. No one's checking to hear the motivational speech from a rookie. Adam Frazier, Mike Yastrzemski, Randall Grichuk walk in and tell the guys, hey, you're good. Adam Frazier tells Kyle Isbell, hey, bro, stop trying to hit home runs. You're going to digest that a little easier than you would coming from someone that has, again, no dirt in their spikes in the big league. So leadership and a quality offense, to me, that's the big difference.
Yeah, this is what I kind of quantify it as. I understand that this offense is not going to be carried by 5 through 9, but their 5 through 9 felt like it was such a void for a major part of the season. Like they have had to carry what at times just feels like dead weight at the bottom half of the lineup that now to me just kind of elevating that ceiling into what you just alluded to, having more leadership, having more professional at-bats. I think it's just taking the pressure off the lineup from top to bottom. I also think moving India down in the lineup has been a big positive for this team. They are just a more well-rounded and complete offense now than they were 30, 45 days ago.
Yeah, we'll see if they can keep it up. In no way am I saying that the offense is now good. They're beating up on bad teams. And again, you mentioned it, since the All-Star break, they're averaging more than 5 runs a game, no doubt. But they're not a world-beating offense. You know, let's see what they do against Detroit. Let's see what they do in the next stretch of 13 straight that happens after those 2 meetings with the Detroit Tigers. You know, Salvador Perez is being asked to carry a heavy load. He's not in the lineup again tonight as he remains sick. But Salvi, since they traded Freddie Fermin, is hitting about $165. Occasional power, but he's still hitting below the league average. When he returns, they need classic Salvador Perez. And now that he's getting this rest, even though he's sick, and I'm sure it's not all that enjoyable of rest, I would imagine Salvi's going to get big for the first few games, but, this organization is asking Salvi to do what he did a decade ago. We celebrated it and marveled at it in 2014 and 2015. If he's able to do it a decade later at the age of 35 in this Kansas City Heat, I'll be floored. But right now, Adam Frazier's doing an outstanding job. Let's hope he can keep it up. Let's hope that Salvi returns with some gusto, because I'm not going to sit here and say all is well with the offense. No, they're having a nice run, but there's still a long way to go.
I guess in regards to Salvi, is this just a normal sickness thing? This isn't anything to worry about? I mean, they haven't told us exactly what it is. Could be food poisoning, could be anything. He's missed a couple of days. This isn't something that we think puts him out for an extended amount of time, is it?
No, they did bring up, or they have Luca Tresh, one of their AAA catchers, in the building as insurance, as a taxi squad guy in case things do take a bad turn. But Q told us just a little while ago that the fever for Salvi has broken. So it appears as if he's on the other side of it. He will be, quote-unquote, available off of the bench tonight, hopefully in the lineup tomorrow to catch the rookie Noah Cameron.
Right now, we're talking to Josh Vernier, our Royals insider. Let's talk about the starter today. Seth Lugo on the mound for the Royals. It does kind of feel, how like they always joke whenever the new iPhone comes out, the old iPhone, now the battery doesn't work, it just takes forever to charge. It does feel like the moment that he signed that contract, that something's gone wrong with Seth Lugo. What's going on?
Well, he had a couple of good starts after the contract, but since the All-Star break, no, the ERA is north of 7. His ERA going into the All-Star break was in the 2s. He's given up 25 earned runs in the last 30 innings. The strikeouts are not there. The walks are up. The homers are up. The excuses are there for the taking, right? Because Seth Lugo's already been on the IL with a finger injury, a ligament issue in his throwing hand. And he said that this is something that's not going to subside until I get some extended rest. So this is something I'm going to have to deal with all the way until the offseason. He says it's not an issue. Coaching staff, training staff, they say it's not an issue. Okay. Lugo threw 200 innings last season. There's an excuse, man. This dude's wiped out, right? He's coming up, 36, 200 innings last year. He's taken the ball basically every fifth day this season outside of that quick stint on the IL. So maybe he's just getting tired. No, he says, I feel great. I'm just not getting the job done. I'm not executing. My command, my control at times has been shaky. Even off the record, low key, hey, come on, he's dealing with something. Come on. No one's giving Seth Lugo that excuse. So bottom line, he just needs to perform better. He just needs to pick it up and help the team out. Because now, as we mentioned, the offense is no longer asking him to be perfect. All we want from Seth Lugo is 5-6 innings to give the team a chance to win. He's been unable to deliver that quite a bit since the All-Star break, and the pressure's on him to deliver tonight because you look at the betting sites, this thing is basically a coin flip as the Royals are facing a good right-hander in his own right in Merrill Kelly. And then tomorrow you face All-Star Jacob deGrom, and you have Michael Lorenzen going in the finale against Patrick Corbin. So big win last night, big spot tonight for Seth Lugo.
Yeah, a really important spot. I mean, the numbers suggest it's going to be very difficult for the Royals to do this, so I don't want to paint it like the Royals are the favorite. If you look at FanGraphs, they have a 17.7% chance of making the postseason. Baseball Reference has them at 23.7, so about a 1 in 5, 1 in 4 chance of making the postseason. Today just kind of feels like one of those games. If you can win today and get Lugo back on track, and you basically just got to go 1-1 in your next 2 games, and one of those games is Noah Cameron. Like at this point, you don't have to be sweeping teams, but you got to be winning series. And when you got a 4-game set against a team like Texas that feels like they're scuffling a little bit, you got to take advantage of this thing. But ultimately, this is going to come down to what you said earlier, Vern. at some point the Royals got to show you that they can be good and competitive against a good team. They are 22-37 against teams that are 500 or better. If this team can't figure that out, then they're not going to the postseason.
Yeah, and we'll certainly get our fill of that. Not only, 6 games in 10 days against the Detroit Tigers, but if you look at their schedule coming up in early September, there's a 9-10-day stretch where they could almost clinch a playoff spot or be completely eliminated. 4 in Cleveland, and that'll decide the tiebreaker between those two teams, which could be big. 3 in Philadelphia against a team that is at least going to be in the wild card hunt, if not taking care of a division title in the Phillies. And then the Seattle Mariners here at Kauffman Stadium, another set that's going to decide a season series, right? That tiebreaker with Seattle was big last year, could be big again this year. So 4 in Cleveland, 3 in Philadelphia, 3 at home against the Mariners, and then 3 at home against the division-leading Toronto Blue Jays. So that's 13 straight against teams that already have reservations for October. Boy, that looms large, and it's less than a month away.
I just want the Royals in September to be playing a series that really matters. Like, I want the Royals to be at a position where you and I both know how this thing works. I mean, once the Chiefs start playing for 20 hours a week, I'm trying to think of new ways to talk about the Chiefs. I would love for the Royals to carve out some room for themselves that on a Tuesday, the number one story is the Royals because they have an important series at Kauffman Stadium. Like, they just haven't had many of those opportunities in my lifetime. So maybe this team doesn't end up making the postseason. But if this team can be 3 games back with a very important series at Kauffman Stadium, that's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm with you, and I want to get your thoughts on Maikel Garcia real quick, C-Dot. I want to know how much you think he's crossed over into whatever Bobby and Vinny, obviously Salvi. Is Maikel there yet? Because you start diving into the numbers, and this guy's having one of the 15 best seasons in all of Major League Baseball. For a guy that can play the shortstop position, to hit 300, be on pace for 40 doubles, a career high in home runs. He's playing Gold Glove defense over there at third base. You look at wins above replacement, and what he and Bobby Witt Jr. are doing hasn't been done in Kansas City in 45 years, not since George and Willie back in 1980. These are 2 of the 15 best players on the planet this season, playing on the left side of the infield. I'm curious, do you think that Maikel's crossed over into the average baseball fan in Kansas City knows about how special this young man is?
I don't think that the average fan knows about it. I mean, I think that a lot of people obviously acknowledge the turnaround, but I just think that some of the love, like, the Royals have a clear number 1, and I think that the public has kind of decided that Vinny is their number 2. Like, I think the public really likes Vinny. People will go buy his jersey. I don't know if Maikel Garcia is at the point where, you know, start of next year, opening day, if you are deciding to get a brand new Royals jersey, I don't know if you're getting a Garcia jersey. I think you go get a Witt jersey, you go get a Vinnie Pasquantino jersey, and I think there's going to be a lot of hope and optimism around Jack Caglione being that next guy as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Cags, because I see more Caglione jerseys than I do Maikel. And yet, in the history of this franchise, I mentioned playing on the infield, on pace to hit 300, 25 stolen bases, and 60 extra base hits. That's only been done by 1 infielder in Royals franchise history, and that was Bobby Witt Jr. last year. If you want to expand it out, include outfielders, Carlos Beltran did it once, Whit Merrifield did it once, and that's it. Again, Maikel, 25. I don't know how interested he would be in sitting down at the negotiations with John Sherman or J.J. Piccolo, but if he's willing to leave some money on the table for some long-term security, man, I'd be all about taking care of that dude.
Vern, let me ask you this question. Let's say you and your wife, you get a night off with the Royals, and she says, you know what, it's my birthday, I want to go have a nice dinner. So you and her go to a nice steakhouse, kind of like the Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce steakhouse. You got to get an appetizer when you go to this place. What's your appetizer go-to choice? I said crab cake earlier today. Rob said a shrimp cocktail. I can't really do cold shrimp. It's just not really my thing. I much rather have the hot pull-and peel shrimp or something different. Whenever you're at one of these nice steakhouses and you're getting the appetizer, not a side, you're getting the appetizer, what's your go-to app?
I think it's calamari. Crab cakes might be my choice. Her choice might be the shrimp cocktail, and I think we come together and agree on calamari.
That is our Royals insider, Josh Vernier, joining us on the show, a man with great taste. Thank you, Vern. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That is Josh Vernier joining us on the show today. It's one vote for a calamari there. It's a good vote. Rob, are you big on getting the bread? Like, are you a big bread guy in these situations?
No.
The bread just feels like a hustle.
Not at a nice steakhouse. Like,
yeah, it feels like a hustle. I'm not even saying that the bread's not good. I mean, the bread is probably good. But come on now. Like, I eat this bread, and then it's tasty, and next thing I know, I've eaten 3 rolls of this thing, and now I got all these sides, and then when the steak gets here, now I'm too full to eat the steak. No, I can't do it. I don't ever pick up the bread. It's just a hustle.
100%. At a very nice steakhouse, it's a hustle. Now, there are places I go, like, that are known for, like, I go to Texas Roadhouse every once in a while. Is it a very nice steakhouse? No. But is it fine? 100%. I get the rolls there. Who cares? But if I'm at 1587, if I'm at Capitol Grill, if I'm at 801 Chop House, and you bring me some bread and butter, you're wasting your time putting it on my plate, because I'm just going to move right past it. No, thank you.
You go to Capitol Grill?
I don't really go to any of those places. I work here.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't certain what was going down.
Capitol Grill, 801 Chop House, they're the same. They're in the same ballpark, hemisphere as far as pricing.
I've been to Capitol Grill one time in my life. It was very good.
I've been one time ever.
One time, yeah. I don't think I need to go back to Capitol Grill.
I think I'll probably go to Mahomes' place one time and be one and done.
Yeah, I'm just an 801 Chop House guy.
Unless the money at this job gets a lot better, then I'll probably be. Then it'll change. But right now, I'm a one and done at Mahomes.
Yeah, a one and done. I'm happy to go give it a chance. Someone said you got to check out Stock Hill. I actually have not been to Stock Hill. Have you been to Stock Hill? I know where it is. I've never actually been in there.
I've never been to Stock Hill.
I've never been in there. I've never been to Stock Hill. I've never been to the Golden Ox either. Those are 2 places on my list.
Golden Ox you got to do. It's a Kansas City thing. Come on.
Yeah, no, those are 2 things on my list. I'm like, man, I don't know why I've never been to the Golden Ox before, but I do feel like at some point in my life, I need to go back to the Golden Ox.
Have you done other things in West Bottoms? Like, have you done the Ship and all that stuff?
Yeah, I have been to the Ship before.
You've already done all. You're right there. Knock it all out.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't have a good answer of why I've never been to the Golden Ox before, but I've never ever been for anything. I've never been to have a drink there, and I've never eaten any of their food there. I'm sure it's lovely. I'm sure it's great. I don't know. Have you been to the Majestic? They have a steakhouse there, right?
I haven't. I went to the Majestic for my wife's birthday. Like, that was the gift was taking her to a nice dinner. So I went to the Majestic. Incredible food. And they have a jazz club. I can't remember if it's downstairs or upstairs. They have a jazz club.
They got it while you can eat too? Like, can you have the nice steak and they're just playing the old-timey jazz?
You got to get a reservation down the jazz. But yeah, it's highly recommended.
I got to go check out the Majestic. Is there any other steakhouse that I'm missing? I'm just trying to think now, the top of my head, of a popular Kansas City steakhouse.
What's Anton's? Have you done Anton's?
I have been to Anton's before. Yeah. Very, very good.
Anton's
2
really
thumbs
good.
up. Phenomenal. Loved Anton's.
Those are like all the local ones that come to mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe text line.
Maybe I'm forgetting one.
So I'm saying text line 913-586-7965. I mean, certainly this is the place where there's no shortage in Kansas City of a place to go get a great steak. So a very competitive market that Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are getting into, but I'm sure it will do well. Their name, their brand, the hotel that it's in. I mean, that's where famous people stay when they come and they stay here. Like, it's going to be a very popular place to eat whenever it opens up. I believe it opens up on September 17th. That will be Patrick Mahomes' 30th birthday. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get to the top stories of the day in Kansas City. Coming up on the other side, we'll get to the top story currently in the National Football League. Adam Schefter, he doesn't think that the Cowboys are going to patch things up with Micah Parsons. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On Tuesday, August 26th, it's FanDuel Futures Day, a new holiday for every single football fan. It's 24 hours of deals, and you know I love a deal, on all your football season predictions. So take a flyer on who you think is going to win MVP. Take a flyer on who you think is going to win the championship this year, and you can parlay your division dark horse candidates. Mark your calendars. This is your day for your hunches, your hot takes, your calls, your odds. You guys always tell me what you think. This time, put your money where your mouth is. All you need to do is visit the FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets now. So if you like Patrick Mahomes to win MVP, this is the time to take him. Or if you think the Chiefs are heading back to the big game, August 28th is the day for you. Because Futures Day is one day and one day only. FanDuel, play your game. 21 and present in Kansas. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas. Under agreement, Kansas Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get up with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. It's KansasGamblingHelp.com.
The John Deere Gator XUV lets you cut, pack, drive, scout, weld, stack, feed, pull, load, tow, spray, and haul, all in a single day. Because with the highest cargo box volume in its class, customizable features, and a towing capacity of up to 4,000 pounds, it gets the job done. You just have to get in the seat. Learn more at your John Deere dealer or visit johndeere.com/GatorXUV.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hey folks, I've got a couple of important questions for you. Do you know how much money you need to retire? Do you have a plan in place for your loved ones? If your answer is no, it's time to get your financial planning on track with UMB Private Wealth. It's never too late to start. Plus, their team supports you at every step of the planning process. Go to umb.com/privatewealth to schedule your appointment. That's umb.com/privatewealth. Why not start today?
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Good morning, Doctor.
Doctor?
Hi, Doctor.
Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, this is Megan, your friend and jeweler from Shane Company. Did you know not all warranties are created equal? At Shane Company, our free lifetime warranty is all-inclusive and even protects the diamond in your engagement ring. We can offer such an incredible warranty because our rings are crafted to last a lifetime. As your friend and jeweler, our gift to you is peace of mind. At Shane Company, we also cover unlimited repairs, resizings, and cleanings for free for life, saving you thousands over time. Because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Gear? Check. Snacks? Check. Tires? Not so much. I didn't have time to deal with this, so I asked my friend. Her answer was simple. Take it to Telly, she said, and I'm so glad I did. They didn't just take care of my tires, they took care of me. We got you, they said, and they did. Fast, friendly, and stress-free. Now I know when life throws you a red card, take it to Telly. Stay in the game. Take it to Telly.
Hi, I'm Michael from the War and Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic, semaglutide injection 0.5 milligrams.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Brad's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where batteries are as low as $89.99. Sammy, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Sammy does that for free too. In no time at all, Brad is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Still working the multi-car crash. 35 southbound past Mission. The right lane is blocked, and that one is in the clearing stages. At Odessa, you've got the two-car crash. 70 eastbound just past exit 37B, Route 131. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5 The Fan.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to get to the top stories of the day in Kansas City. The Royals, they are playing some great baseball. We'll get you the numbers on what the Royals need to do for the remaining 37 games of the season. We've been having a lot of fun today. We've been talking about the Chiefs wide receiver room. Here was Dana Hughes on the station earlier today.
The jury's still out for me, and that's an honest assessment. One, we haven't played multiple games together. Like, we can look at last year and get a snapshot of what could have been, but we didn't have Hollywood Brown early in the season. When we finally got him back, he wasn't necessarily 100%. We didn't have Rashee Rice. I think they are capable, and Andy Reid has said it. This team, this wide receiving group is capable of being the best he's ever coached. That's a tall task and high praise. But I still have to see it. Like, to me, we haven't seen them in the preseason games. We haven't seen them assembled together. We haven't seen them all healthy. It's tough to look at the Legion of Zoom that won that Super Bowl in the 2019 season and say that this group is better, but I'm waiting to see that because they had a different complement. Obviously, with Tyreek Hill, you had Sammy Watkins that was a more bigger physical receiver. Like, I think that dynamic was different, but I'm excited about this wide receiving crew. If they can stay healthy and Patrick Mahomes has the confidence in him like he did with them, it's going to be something special.
Rob, I think right now, I think the three biggest questions with the Chiefs are, what's the status with Hollywood Brown from a health injury standpoint? How many games is Rashee Rice going to be suspended? Is Kingsley Suamataia the answer at left guard? Is that it for right now? Is there another question right now that's hanging over the team that you think should be included in that? And obviously, as we get more information, the questions can change and we'll get certain questions answered and then more questions will pop up. If we were saying right now, we take a snapshot on August 19th, heading into the season, what are the questions for the Chiefs? How many games is Rice going to get? Is Hollywood Brown going to be healthy and available for week one? What's going on with Kingsley Suamataia? I don't really think they have too many other questions right now.
I mean, I think those are the only questions. I think, and maybe this is one that you're counting as it will pop up as the season progresses, but hasn't popped up yet. Are they going to load manage Travis Kelce? Like, are they going to try to massage his snaps and his targets? Now, we won't really know the answer to that until you're probably like week 1, 2, or 3. So, like, maybe that's a question that falls into that category we don't know yet because it's not part of this snapshot. But I think that's the only other question is, they got a 35-year-old tight end. Are they going to try to, get him to the finish line? Or is it all systems go the same way it's been all systems go for every other year of his career?
I want to play this audio for you guys. This is probably one of the top stories around the country. Here is Adam Schefter. He is talking about the relationship between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons. It does not sound good.
You can't get a deal done if you're not even talking. And the two sides haven't had any negotiations since late March or early April. And it sounds like at this point it's personal. It sounds like each side is dug in. The Cowboys have come out and said what they said publicly at the start of training camp, which Micah didn't like. Micah came out and asked to be traded, said he was ready to move on from Dallas, which I'm sure they didn't like. And right now, both sides seem to be angry. Now, have other people put those feelings aside in the past and figured out a way to work out a deal? Yeah. I don't see that happening here. I see these two sides headed towards a divorce in time. The only question is, when is that divorce going to happen and how is it going to happen? Are they going to trade him now? Are they going to trade him after this year? Are they going to move on when? But it certainly doesn't feel like these two sides want to enter a long-term relationship together. That's the way it feels today, and we'll see if they do anything to change that before the regular season begins in a couple of weeks.
Maybe I am being played by the agents here, because we all know, and I don't say this as an indictment on Adam Schefter in any way, the game is the game. But we all know that Adam Schefter at times is a mouthpiece for either the team or the agent, and you got to decipher who's pulling the strings here. I've always thought the Cowboys were going to figure this out and work it out. I mean, that's how these situations work in the National Football League. You're unhappy about your contract in August. The two sides' deadlines make deals. You sit down, you figure this out, you get back on the field. Everybody is happy. Life moves on. The NFL season starts in 3 weeks. He says a divorce will happen in time. Micah Parsons is one of the 5 best defensive players in the league. How have you let it get to this point where the number one reporter in the National Football League feels like the clock is starting on this player? Can the Cowboys afford to do this trade prior to the start of the season? Is Micah Parsons not going to be playing in the game against the Eagles to kick off the year? Because I've never once entertained that as a possibility. I've always thought that Jerry puts his sword down, so does Micah Parsons and his agent. The two sides come together. They make Micah Parsons the highest paid defensive player in the National Football League, and everybody goes back to their corners. This sounds like it's gotten worse than that. This doesn't sound like what happened with Dak or what happened with Ezekiel Elliott or what happened with DeMarcus Lawrence. It feels like it has gotten personal on both sides, that Jerry feels like Micah did something wrong in their negotiations. Micah feels a way. For you not to be talking in this process, that's not good. Like, you're not, it'd be one thing to be far apart, but you guys are communicating. Y'all not even talking to one another. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to overreact to one report, but I do think it's important of where this report comes from, and it comes from Adam Schefter. This isn't random newspaper guy. This isn't radio guy. This is the number one reporter in the game is telling you, hey, things are getting really bad with Micah Parsons. Would Dallas really trade him prior to the start of the season? Like, it's just
probably not.
This is the first time I've ever let my mind even start to entertain this possibility. Who would trade for Micah Parsons? Who's at the top of the list? I'm assuming there's no team in the NFC. I cannot see a scenario in which Jerry Jones is trading him to the Commanders. Like, come on now.
It's got the Patriots, ton of cap room. Like, you got to find a team with a rookie quarterback.
I mean, the Patriots, I would say, are the number one the possibility then. They have all the cap space in the world. Mm-hmm. If you're the Cowboys and you're going to take a first-round pick, I'd be interested in taking the Patriots' first-round pick. That might be the 11th overall selection.
Could also be 24
for sure.
if they have Micah Parsons.
They could be good. But I'm willing to roll the dice that they could maybe be just okay this year.
I'm trying to think who else would. It works both ways, though. Like, the Raiders would make sense because of their cap, but are they going to give up a first-round pick with Geno? Probably not. So I think they're kind of out. Like, I don't think there's many possibilities of teams that would legitimately make sense to do this deal on both ends. Like, the NFC is probably out, and the AFC possibles is pretty small. Like, if you're the Jets and you have some cap space because you're out from under Aaron Rodgers, are you really doing this knowing you're going to a first-round pick with Justin Fields as your quarterback? Probably not. Like, I don't know there's a lot of teams that would do it on August 19th.
Yeah, someone just sent in, this deal will get done in Dallas. Look at what happened to Chris Jones. He missed one game and then got to the contract. I don't think that it ever got to this point. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know if it ever got to the point between Chris Jones and the Chiefs that the two sides never were speaking. I think they just had a disagreement. I think that Chris Jones was pretty steadfast on something. The Chiefs kind of maintained their, hey, we want you. Hey, we love you. We appreciate you. This is our offer. You can kind of take it or leave it. And obviously it went too far. The two sides mended. And just even based on them, the Chiefs still gave Chris Jones, when he finally came back into the fold, they still gave him a chance to kind of get his money back. Like, they were always trying to work together. That's not how the relationship sounds right now between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons. And I think it's also important to note, Chris Jones never asked for a trade. We had a full manifesto a week ago that Micah Parsons said, I don't want to play for this team anymore. It didn't get that bad between Chris Jones and Kansas City. No, not at all. Not that bad. So, yeah, you're right. Chris Jones is an example of, yeah, it got bad. He missed the game, and eventually it all worked out for both sides. I think it is noteworthy. Adam Schefter is telling you he doesn't think that's going to happen in this situation. That is certainly noteworthy, given the source of which it is coming from. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get to the top stories. We'll get you a random lineup. When's the last time we got a Royals random lineup in the 5 o'clock hour? We got the numbers for you. Can the Royals make the postseason? We'll get to it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
Hey, it's Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Still working the multi-car crash. 35 southbound past Mission. The right lane is blocked, and that one is in the clearing stages. At Odessa, you've got the 2-car crash. 70 eastbound just past exit 37B, Route 131. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center on Val 96.5 The Fan.
Hey guys, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive. Summer is officially here, and that means the sun is out and the grill is hot and life is calling you. But what if you're just not feeling it? Low energy, brain fog, maybe you have no drive. It might not just be your age. It could be low testosterone. At Heartland Men's Health, they know what you're going through, and they know exactly how to help. Low T can lead to poor sleep, weight gain, low sex drive, and zero motivation, but it doesn't have to be that way. Do you know what the first step is? It's taking the free Low T quiz at heartlandmenshealth.com. It only takes 2 minutes. Then schedule your $99 consult. That includes lab work and a full medical review. And if your treatment starts that day, that means your visit is on the house. Don't wait. Heartland Men's Health is changing lives in Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Call this number, 844-447-6600, or visit heartlandmenshealth.com today. That one phone call can change your life, can change your summer. So get back to feeling like yourself. Pick up the phone and call Heartland Men's Health today.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their tools, but to protect their professional reputations. Whether it's inside or outside of work vehicles, a WeatherGuard badge means pros can trust that their hard-earned name is in good hands. Since 1968 and every day since, WeatherGuard has been protecting anything it takes to build a professional reputation. WeatherGuard, established in 1968, proven every day. WeatherGuard.com.
Training camp in St. Joe is over. And you know, they don't just call it training camp. They're actually training for the skills they'll have to use all season long. And you know who else trains that way? Centric Training, except without the shoulder pads and the helmet. They'll train you on the exact job skills you'll need to be a cybersecurity specialist, and they'll do it in just 4 months, not 4 years. Get started today, and you can be in your new career before the playoffs even start. Reach out to our friend Russ. Go to Centric.com.
Arvest Bank, believing in the power of serving others.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest. We believe.
The world's coming to Kansas City in 2026. Is your parking lot ready? Faded lines, potholes, unsafe sidewalks. Gann Asphalt and Concrete is your winning team. One contractor. All things parking lot. Visit GannAsphalt.com today.
It's Rawhide Harley's Sign and Ride event. No cash down needed. Rates as low as 1.49% APR on select Harleys. Put no cash down, sign, and ride away on your new Harley from Rawhide Harley. Save thousands on interest at Rawhide Harley Davidson. Credit on new 2024 Lowrider ST, Lowrider S, or Road 3 miles. See dealer for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my 2 sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-761-0000. That's 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000.
A blood emergency has been declared in the Kansas City region, and donors are urgently needed. Now through August 26th, donate with Community Blood Center and be entered to win tickets to the Chiefs home opener. Visit savealifenow.org or call 877-468-6844 to schedule your donation today.
When it comes to buying a car, simple wins. Rob Sight Ford has the inventory, the trade values, and the non-commissioned team that puts you first. No pressure, just 4.8 stars on Google for a reason. ROBSIGHT.com.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of select Mobil 1 synthetic motor oil in-store or online.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Have you watched Die Royal Decree? How about Chiefs Take Tuesday? Or would you rather Wednesday? Follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for exclusive video content, giveaways, and behind-the-scenes action. 96.5 The Fan, KFMZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. So, coming up in about 10 minutes or so, I gave Rob one assignment for the day. I told Rob to go through the last 25 drafts for the Kansas City Chiefs and to make his all-disappointment team. I just wanted to see if FAU was going to be on this team. He has 3 sacks through his first 2 seasons. It looks like he is going to miss all of his 3rd season. I don't presume that they are going to pick up his 5th-year option. I don't know why they would do that. So we're talking about heading into the final year of a contract in which I think he's going to end up being on the roster bubble. I mean, Charles Omenihu is in the final year of a deal. Mike Dana is in the final year of a deal. You would have to presume that the Chiefs take some swing in free agency, would have to assume that they draft another player at his position. I think he was looking at being a 3rd-string guy this season with the team. Like, if we just go through pass rushers this season, he's behind Omenihu, behind George Karlaftis, behind Mike Dana. He looked like, based on the depth chart, he was behind Ashton Gelati. Like, if you're the 5th or 6th DN on a team, it ain't 100% certain that you're going to make the team. You maybe were going to be behind Malik Herring. So I asked Rob to go through the last 25 drafts to give us his all-disappointment team. We'll get to that coming up in a bit. We will actually do that in place of, you know what, we can do both. We can do a random Royals lineup, and we can give you the all-disappointment team. We certainly got enough time to do both. So let me give you the numbers before we get to your random lineup. The Royals have 37 games remaining this season. 37. It's not a whole lot of time left. 37. In order for the Royals to win 87 games, the Royals need to go 23-14. They need to win 62% of their remaining games. I don't think it's realistic to expect to make the playoffs if you win fewer than 86, 87 games. You need to be in that range in order to do it. But the positive is that is the exact record that the Royals have in their previous 37 games. The Royals have played much better baseball of late. There is no question about it. Their offense has been much better, and I attribute a lot of that to they've gotten out a lot of the dead weight at the bottom half of their lineup. This offense was carrying Hunter Renfroe. They were carrying Biggio. They were carrying, and I know we all love him, Jack Caglione. Jack Caglione had 125 at-bats and was hitting 150 and 2. It's hard to turn your offense around if every day you're giving a guy at-bats that does that. I'm more than fine with Jack Caglione coming back next season and being part of this team and getting a chance to earn it coming out of spring training. I'm all on board for that. if this team is serious about making the postseason, Jack Caglione can't get at bats anymore for the rest of the season. At least not while they're still in it. If the Royals get eliminated, sure, give them all the at bats in the world. But if they're really trying to make the postseason, they got to try to put together the best 9, the best lineup that they possibly can. So they got to get Salvi back here sooner rather than later. They need to get Seth Lugo back on track, who has struggled his last couple of starts, and they got to keep things going. You got to keep Vinnie Pasquantino hot. You got to keep Bobby Witt Jr. You got to keep Jonathan India, and you also need the bottom half of that lineup to continue doing what they're doing. They have legitimate options now at the bottom half of it, whether it's Kyle Isbell, Adam Frazier, Yastrzemski. You have significantly risen the floor of what this offense can be, and doing that has given you a chance. Now, I'm here to be Debbie Downer just a little bit. If the Royals are going to make the postseason, they're going to have to do something this season that they haven't done. They got to start beating good teams. The Royals right now are beating the teams that they're supposed to. You are taking care of the games that you are supposed to win. I'm not knocking that. But the Royals this season, they are 22-37 against teams that are 500 or better. If they're going to win 62% of their games between now and the end of the season, you still got Detroit left. You still got Toronto left on your schedule. You still got good teams left. You got to play good against those teams. You got to face your fears, so to speak, or overcome your weakness. And you got to undo a really, really bad month that you have. I want to give you these numbers really quickly. I think the lesson of all of this from this season is going to be 1 or 2 weeks can end you. You know we love a basketball analogy. I have seen teams play Kansas really close at Allen Fieldhouse for the first 31 minutes of the game. I'm sure you've seen it. It's a nice 45 game. It's back and forth. The game feels close. It feels tight. Every bucket matters. And then you look up and, well, what do you know? Kansas has gone on a 12-2 run. The crowd is rocking, and we all know, even though there's 4 minutes left in the game, that is the end of the game. You are not winning. This season, the Royals have actually been really good in every month but one. And you can even boil it down. The Royals have been fairly consistent in most weeks except 2 weeks. They had a bad 2-week stretch. In the month of June, they won 1 home game. They had 2 homestands in which they lost every game of the homestand. They went 8-8 in June. So it created a deficit that they've had to basically dig themselves out of from July 1st until now. Now, maybe they will be able to do it, or maybe they end up running out of time. But the message that needs to be delivered to this organization is every week matters. And 1 or 2 really bad weeks can put you behind the 8 ball and severely damage your chances of making the postseason. The Royals have had a winning month not even a 500 month. They have had a winning month in every month this baseball season other than June. They were 8-18 in June. So that completely undoes the April that you had, the May that you had. You look up and you're heading into the 4th of July. Wait, how are we under 500? Because you played so poorly in June. You went 15-9 in July. You've been 10-6 so far in August. The Royals have been a very, very good team, except I've seen a lot of teams play Kansas really close, except those 3 minutes. Well, those 3 minutes why you lost. Those 3 minutes of how you lost 72-60 because you let KU outscore you 15-4, and now they're ripping up newspapers and dancing on you. That is what happened to the Royals. So maybe the Royals get themselves out of it. Maybe they don't. But that stretch in June is, if they don't make the postseason, we will be able to look back and point to exactly why this team missed the postseason. They put together a very abysmal June, and that created a deficit that ultimately they couldn't dig themselves out of. So those are the numbers. The Royals need to go 23-14 down the stretch. That would get them to 87 wins. That is the exact record that they have had in their last 37 games. So I'm here to tell you, it is possible for the Royals to get back in this thing. The Royals have about a 18% chance of making the postseason, according to Fangraphs. They have about a 24% chance of making the postseason if you look at Pro Baseball Reference. So it is about a 1-5, 1-4 chance of them making it. That is not a crazy odds. It's not a crazy odd at all that the Royals can get back in this thing. I just want the Royals to continue to do what they've been doing. String good weeks together, string winning series together. Seth Lugo wins today. You just got to figure out a way to win one of the next 2 games on Wednesday and the Thursday day game. You got a series this weekend against the Tigers. You got to figure out a way to win 2 or 3. You got to continue to have good weeks, winning weeks, and keep up this positive momentum. And then I'm hoping that we look up and it's September 8th and the Royals are 2.5 games back, and they've got a very important series at Kauffman Stadium that we need to go out to the ballpark and give them that extra energy to potentially help them get over the hump. That is what I am rooting for the Kansas City Royals. We will get to Rob's list coming up in just a bit, but we got another list for you. Rob, take it away.
We're where you want to be. Baseball with the Royals.
Carrington today's random Royals lineup takes us back to the year in 2008, where the Royals finished 75-87. Those are the numbers they need to reach, albeit in reverse. They lost on this date to Cleveland. Here is your random Royals lineup from 2008.
Let's do it.
Leading off at shortstop, Micah Vilas.
You know, I love Micah Vilas. One of the greatest batting stances in Royals history.
Well, Micah Vilas was batting .320 on this date in 2008. Goodness gracious. Batting second at third base, Esteban Herman.
I kind of remember him, honestly.
I think he was like RC Cola Gerard Dyson before Gerard Dyson.
That's crazy. Don't ever call me the RC Cola version of anybody. If somebody called me the RC Cola version of Nick Wright, I got to fight that individual. I got to fight them. You know what you remind me of? You're like a Dr. Thunder version of Stephen A. Smith. Hey, man, I'm pulling up, man. Drop your location. Me and you we got to have fisticuffs if you call me that.
Batting third, the should-be Royals Hall of Famer, center fielder David DeJesus.
You're like a one-man crusade to get David DeJesus in the Hall of Fame.
Kurt Nelson, I know you're listening. Get it done.
We do like Kurt Nelson.
Shout
Shout out to Kurt Nelson. We like him.
Batting fourth, first team all theft in left field, Jose Guillen.
First team legalized bank robbing.
Batting fifth in right field, Mark Tien.
Are we calling Mark T in front of the show?
Yeah, I would call Mark Tien.
All right,
batting sixth, the designated hitter, Billy Butler.
Billy.
Batting seventh, and at first base, Ross Glode.
Hey, I remember Ross Glode.
Batting eighth, behind the plate, Miguel Olivo.
Okay, former catcher.
And batting ninth, the second baseman, Jason Smith. Who? Sounds like a creative player in 2K.
Jason Smith. Jason Smith sounds like the name that they used for Barry Bonds whenever Bonds didn't sign up for the MLBPA. That's what it sounds like.
By the way, the Royals lost on this date because starter Luke Kochaver went 5, giving up 4, including 2 home runs. The Royals lost on this date in 2008 to the then Cleveland Indians.
That's crazy. What was that guy's name again? What was his name?
Jason Smith.
Jason Smith.
Let's see about a Jason Smith.
Okay, all right.
Jason Smith played 8 years of Major League Baseball from 01 to 09 with the Cubs, the Rays, the Tigers, the Rockies, the Blue Jays, the Diamondbacks, the Royals, and the Astros. So a little bit of everyone.
Yeah, what a life. That's all I'm here to say. What a life. Shout out to Jason Smith. All right. We are doing this because of Felix Onyeudike-Uzama, who yesterday was placed on the injured reserve list.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. I mean, that's, he's worked hard, so we'll see where it goes. I can't tell you how long it's going to be, but any time for that is disappointing for him, I know, because he works so stinking hard.
Maybe this is nothing. Maybe it's something. I don't know. A hamstring injury is now going to put him out for the entirety of the season. Like, how severe of a hamstring injury this was. It feels to me like he kind of got Tyler Braid here. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like, wait, like you've already kind of made the decision. So I looked this up. The team can designate 8 players to be on IR and then come back. And it just doesn't sound like that they're putting him as a player that can come back this year. Like, they're going to have other injuries. So I understand, like, wanting to keep that spot open. It sounds to me like he's going to be on the injured reserve list for the entire season. So I asked you to make a list. I asked you to make a list of the first-team Chiefs draft disappointments. I asked you to limit this to the last 25 years. I wasn't going to have you going back in the 1973 draft for the Chiefs. It just seemed like asking you to do too much work. 25 years feels like a reasonable amount of time. I asked you to give me an offense. I also asked you to give me a defense of Chiefs draft picks who maybe didn't live up to the hype, didn't live up to the expectation, a guy that you thought was going to be productive but ended up not being very productive, maybe a guy who got training camp hype. I let you to your own devices here to give us the Chiefs draft disappointments of the last 25 years. Rob, hit some more music.
All right, Carrington, here is our all-draft lit-down team. We'll start on the offense side of the ball. At quarterback, Brody Croyle. Well, at quarterback, surprisingly hard to find draft lit-downs because the Chiefs don't really draft quarterbacks. Not really their thing. They're not a fan.
That's what makes the Patrick Mahomes thing so crazy is they never did it, and then the one time they tried, it was like, wait, you have the greatest quarterback we've ever seen.
I had at running back. Now, I cheated a little bit. I massaged the roster. At running back, I had Dexter McCluster. If you want to tell me he's a receiver, whatever. He's my running back. At receiver, I'm carrying 3. Sky Moore, who I was told was supposed to be Julian Edelman. He's not. Not even a little bit. Like, what's the opposite of Julian Edelman? That's Sky Moore. I got
Lance Long.
Yeah, that's the opposite of Julian Edelman.
Opposite of Julian Edelman.
I got Jonathan Baldwin because, come on, man, we all know. And then I also have DeAnthony Thomas. The DeAnthony Thomas one, I will note, is maybe I was part of the hype machine because at Oregon, he was awesome. He was just, he might be one of the most electrifying college players we saw. Then he came to the Chiefs and was just there.
Can you help me understand why Clyde Edwards-Helaire didn't get your draft? Because you remember, people were making Brian Westbrook comparisons. People were making Deuce Staley comparisons early on in his career. He didn't turn out to be any of those individuals. Why did you go Dexter McCluster at RB and not go Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Now, listen, I did not like the Edwards-Helaire pick, and I like being right. And I understand why he's a letdown. He was, there was just the narrative around him was crazy. He at least had one productive season for the Chiefs. For that first year, he had 800-ish yards. I believe he had just short of 1,000 total yards. Like, I'm not describing a Hall of Famer, but he did have a level of productivity at running back in the league. Dexter McCluster was just an idea. I know that he ran through his shoes in St. Joe, but he never really did anything else of note ever on the offensive side of the ball. So Dexter McCluster got my vote there.
All right.
Tight end, another difficult one to do because the Chiefs have 2 of the greatest tight ends of all time in this window. So it's got to be Moeaki. He's the letdown. Injuries let him down, but someone has to make the team at tight end.
Yeah, Tony Moeaki, when he was healthy, he actually wasn't that bad. He just was never healthy. Like, going back and looking at Tony Moeaki's career, he only played 2 seasons for the Chiefs. He had a little more than 1,000 yards. He had 80 catches for 1,000 yards, and that was it. He then played for Buffalo, Seattle, and Atlanta, and he was out of the league in 5 years.
Mm-hmm. All right, now offensive line, I didn't want to get in the nitty-gritty of like this. It's a right guard, it's a left guard. We're playing positionless football on the offensive line.
That's fair.
Here are my 5 linemen.
I'll let that slide.
We got Wanye Morris, Darian Kennard, Lucas Niang. God, I'm so happy I never have to hear that. Chase Young really, really struggled with Lucas Niang's story ever again in my life.
I feel like Lucas Niang actually had a shot. He just had a bad back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes, when they tell us that a guy's like an injury risk or like a red flag, that guy actually ends up being that. Lucas Niang maybe could have been a good player. He just could never be healthy.
And then I have Parker Anger and Donald Stevenson. That rounds out my offense.
I feel like we're being a little harsh on Donald Stevenson.
100%.
I don't like that Donald Stevenson is on this list. And Parker Anger actually turned out to be very valuable for the Chiefs. That is the person that they traded to go get Charvarius Ward.
Let's move to the defense side of the ball. FAU makes the team at D-end. FAU is one of my D-ends. The other D-end might be the biggest bust in Chiefs history. It's Breeland Speaks. Just woof for Breeland Speaks.
That ain't good. Breeland Speaks only played 1 year in the league. That never happens for a top 50 pick. You only get 1 season?
Remember, he got hurt, and then he got popped for PEDs, and now he just never come back.
Yeah, just 1 year is crazy.
Defensive tackles, I have Tyson Jackson and Ryan Sims, 2 guys that were top 10, top 15 picks and amounted to nothing. For the older, like our era Chiefs fan, Ryan Sims, they sold us that he was the one that made Julius Peppers go. That was false. At linebacker, I got Nico Johnson and Ramik Wilson, 2 SEC thumpers that did no thumping for the Chiefs. And in the secondary, I got William Barty, Phillip Gaines, Kavari Russell, Armani Watts, and St. Joe favorite Sanders Cummings.
That's a strong back end there. For this game, that's a strong back end. Someone said stall FAU out. He's a young draft pick. He's got time to recover. I don't know if he has that much time to recover with the Chiefs. I'm not saying he doesn't have time to recover for another team in the league. I mean, that's certainly possible. But if we are heading into year 3, you're on the injury list. We don't believe that you're coming back this season. You got 3 sacks in your first 3 years. You ain't a lock to make it for that 4th season. Not at all. Like, you are the 5th or 6th defensive end until proven otherwise on this team. So next year, and I know we got a long time till we get to next year training camp, FAU is on the roster bubble. They're not picking up your 5th-year option. It's not just a contract year. It is a career year for Felix Anudike. Like, we've seen enough of these picks. If you follow the NFL, you've seen enough selections where, yeah, guy's a first-round pick. It didn't work out in his first place. He goes and he gets a second opportunity. He flames out there, dude's out of the league in 5-6 years. We wonder what happened. Like that is a realistic possibility for Felix Anudike after this news that he is going to miss the 2025 season with a hamstring injury. I know we don't have a lot of time left, so you know what? I want to spend the rest of this time taking a trip down memory lane. Yesterday, Rich Eisen hosted SportsCenter. You got to watch the video. They brought back the 1995 graphics yesterday. You know the ones I'm talking about. You know the music. Oh, my goodness, it was beautiful.
Tonight on SportsCenter, the preseason Monday Nighter certainly did not disappoint in D.C., while an old D.C. star powered up the Phillies against the Mariners twice. In Pittsburgh, Paul Skeens actually got runs, 2 of them. Was it enough against Toronto? But really, sometimes you gotta keep it simple and direct.
Why didn't you go down?
I wanted to score.
This show is all about strolling down memory lane. No, not about having hair. It's about throwing a whole bunch at you while having an old school good time. So stay tuned and don't flip out. SportsCenter is next. Hey there. Saying this for the first time in 22 years. Welcome to SportsCenter.
It was Rich Eisen. He hosted SportsCenter yesterday for the first time since 2003. I don't know why ESPN doesn't do that, certainly during the summer, regularly. Go back and ask former SportsCenter hosts if they would like to host the show. We would like it. We want it. 90s nostalgia is in right now. It's one of the best decisions you can make if you're ESPN. Let Rich Eisen come back. Let Charlie anybody come back. Bob Lee, is he still with us? We still got Bob Lee here? Ask Bob Lee if he wants to do it. We all want this. It's what we want. I'd love it if you guys did this. I had a lot of fun today. I hope you guys had a lot of fun as well. Go Royals! Seth Lugo on the mound today. It's also Dollar Dogs out there at Kauffman Stadium. Make sure you drink some water. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
As summer temperatures are winding down, the final push of the season is heating up. With 1 month to go, the division-leading Tigers are coming to the K. They've got Cy Young pitching, all-star defense, and